Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company Q&A Thursdays. That's right. I still got a little cough and a sniffle, so everybody thought, Dane, keep your mask on. So the rest of them in solidarity are hanging out with me.
Well, to be honest,
this works pretty well.
You weren't feeling good,
Yeah,
and so we weren't sure.
right.
You took some tests.
I came back negative.
both
two
times.
tests in a row.
So,
Yeah,
thank you, Dane, for wanting to keep us all safe.
yeah.
So
I'm
I
just looking out
appreciate
for you,
that.
Really
buds.
quick though, I'd like to say that most of the comfort in today's video is actually provided by our friends over at Color Lock.
Good.
Yeah.
And so
Color Lock.
because of Color Lock, we have these extremely comfortable face masks that basically makes it feel like they're not even there.
Honestly, one of the greatest things, the Color Lock Community Mask, it's got silver infused fabric on the inside.
It does.
Mhm.
It does.
What it does, one of the benefits is it actually captures that bad breath and kills the bacteria, so it doesn't
Right
smell.
on the spot. Yeah.
Doesn't smell. That's one of the
Yeah.
great things about this, which is why we can wear them so
Yeah.
comfortably. And it's got the wire bridge here to secure
Honestly,
the
that's
fit.
the big
Well,
important
and we all look
bit.
like ninjas when we wear it.
We
Yeah.
also look like
It just
ninjas,
looks
which
super
is
cool.
huge.
I feel like I am in a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
and
Also,
I
one of
love
the
that.
only
Combat.
masks that doesn't fog up my glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good point.
Well,
Now,
they
I
just
will
did just
say, you will see moments where we pull them down to have a sip of our soda. But that's not a controversial moment, so you
No.
can all just chill. We're just doing this as a precautionary measure
well,
for the
you gotta
most
remember,
part.
Juan came up to visit.
Yeah.
So we've got Juan here. Dane wasn't feeling good. We just had a bit of an issue where we had some members that were exposed. So we're trying to keep all of us safe. And we're in this tiny room.
So
We've
we
had
can
our
keep
masks off
creating
while we've been
awesome
filming and doing
content.
stuff.
The last week wasn't very fun being all split up like
Yeah,
that.
so.
So what you're saying, this is a unique Q&A.
Yeah.
Unique
It
because
is.
Juan's here and we have color lock
We
masks
all have
on.
masks.
So, we've got that base covered. Now, is there anything as far as housekeeping you want to cover before I go into my little bit?
So I would like to do some
Yeah.
housekeeping.
Yes.
Big housekeeping.
Bring it
if
on.
that's- If that's possible.
What you got?
So as of right now, right? As of right now, it's weird looking. Hey, you.
I'm smiling.
Camera.
Are you
As of
smiling?
right now, the Grandmaster application for Q4 is live on the Rag Company Instagram, and it will be live up until the end of this weekend. So if you've always wanted to be a Rag Company Grandmaster, it's been one of your dreams to be part of our team, now is the time to apply. And hopefully by October 4th, we will have everybody dialed in and make the big announcement on who was selected. So again, we select 10 people per quarter, 40 people per year on people that want to represent the Rag Company via Instagram and social media, right? And so we hook them up with a bunch of cool stuff, their own discounts, their own follower discount. They get hooked up. Pretty good, right? So anyways, head to the Rag Company Instagram and go click on we have a link in our bio. Click on that, do your quick application. We've gotten a ton of applicants already, but the thing is, I always want more. And if you've applied before and you haven't gotten in, maybe now is your time. You know, maybe now is your quarter, or
Your
whatever it may
feed,
be.
your interaction may look different now, so you may have
Correct.
a better chance. There's
Yeah.
always that possibility.
Yeah, there's always people that are improving their media game, and so I'm always kind of keeping a lookout. So, so apply for that. It is live. I know we get a lot of questions on how to get a sponsored position here within the Rag Company, or how to get to be part of the Grandmasters, and that's how to do it. So, there is that I want to cover, and then the other thing too is that we finished up with our P&S sale, which was a buy a gallon, get a pint.
Yep.
And so we're still, I think we're getting caught up on all those orders, I think we're, for the most part, pretty caught up. Some people are still kind of slowly but surely getting their Dream Maker orders, which is also awesome. Super, super cool. And then lastly, is there any other sales coming up to look forward to? Is there anything new and exciting, Levi? Potentially.
Potentially.
You know, because yesterday was the first day of fall. You do realize
It was
that,
the
right?
first day of fall, and we are going to have to probably do some sort of cleaning or get ready because, I spent the weekend getting my Halloween decorations in order, getting my house set up, getting ready to scare the trick-or-treaters. So there's
Oh, of
potential
course.
for a Halloween-themed sale coming up.
Ooh.
Possibly check the month of October, but I think we're going to take it easy right
Sounds
now.
mysterious.
I think we're going to take it easy for probably
Yeah.
the next week or so and just chill out and get through
But,
all those orders
but
and make sure everything's taken care of. And
Couple weeks though,
Yeah,
right?
little
couple
weeks
weeks.
at
Couple
least.
spooky
weeks.
season action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so maybe we'll go back to the Idaho State Penitentiary, the
Ooh,
old
I like
the
that.
old penitentiary.
Well, that's why I did the
Yeah.
thumbnail. I did it so we could have a little throwback showing, the GT3 RS out there in
Dane,
orange.
how would you like to do a challenge
Ooh,
with us, all 4 of us here,
okay.
where we spend the night in the prison?
I don't think we're allowed to do that.
Yeah, somebody
sure?
might actually kick us out.
I don't know if I want to do
What if
that.
we sneak in?
Right away.
I'd be
right
game
away
to
they
do it.
said,
The problem is I don't
You
think
realize,
they'd let
Anthony,
us.
it's a jail.
Well, there's the gallows area.
Great place
I
to,
would like to
You're
be
going to sneak
there.
in over
hang
there?
your head for the night.
Honestly, I think they only hung one guy.
I think they did. Only one
Right? I think there was only one hanging.
Yeah, probably 1 or 2.
So-
super low ghost count.
Great
There
way-
was the fire.
So
So that
the
could-
fire.
Great way to lead off the Q&A.
Oh,
now,
sorry. It's
and
Dane. It's just a little bit of
slightly
history. There's
Yeah,
less
we're
wrong
just
with a
talking
little-
some traditional Idaho history. If
Yes.
you guys are wondering what we're talking about, go on Google and type in the Old Idaho State Penitentiary here in Boise, Idaho. Beautiful sandstone castle that they basically
It is very
built.
nice.
It
Really
is-
cool
it is
feature.
lovely
It was in
courtyard.
use until 73, I believe.
And that's where BSU actually hosts a lot of their, not horticulture, what's it, where they plant flowers and stuff.
They
What's
plant
that
a lot of
class?
flowers.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
gardens around
It's
there.
like-
Like
it's like
really
gardening
nice
classes
gardens.
they
Yeah,
host
they
over
also,
there.
it's right next to the botanical gardens too. So
Mm.
they have that
Yeah,
area.
you're thinking
Beautiful.
horticulture and stuff like that. But
Horticulture, yeah.
other than that, I was going to point
What
out
do you
in
got, Dane?
slightly less morbid news, I've got this Maserati hat, which
Ah.
came from Car Week. That was a lot of fun
Yeah,
in
from our
Monterey.
friends at Maserati.
Yes, that
Dane,
was
is there-
quite
Is there
fun.
something you're trying to tell us, right? Because we all know you've been looking into new vehicles lately.
No. We're not talking about
Are
that.
you
I just
sure?
remember,
'Cause-
you remember how you and I, we were talking to the gal from Maserati.
Yeah.
We were introducing ourselves, talking to her. She was telling us about how
Super
they had
nice.
just taken that car for a drive. There's
Yeah.
a good potential we'd be seeing it on YouTube or their Instagram page.
Yeah.
And they had been shooting a video with an M5 chase car, which I thought a camera car, which
It was an
really
E39 M5, which was an
cool. Yeah.
inspired
and
choice.
Anthony, myself, Josh, Gabe, we were enjoying our conversation with this gal, telling her all kinds of stuff.
And checking out the new Maserati.
Nate was checking it. We were
The
we were looking at
MC20
it.
for those
we
who
were
are
looking at
wondering.
it, enjoying ourselves, and we were like, "Man, this is really cool." I bet Dane's really enjoying
Yeah.
that we're doing this
I
right now.
wish I could have.
Dane, where were you?
I was stuck trying to fit all of our luggage into the back of the truck, and it kept falling
no,
out.
we had all the luggage packed. You had gotten one thing out. It was your luggage.
No, the problem was
Your
all the stuff
suitcase.
kept falling out, and
Yeah.
I was trying to get
Well,
my stuff in there
Basically,
as
I
it
heard
was.
a lot of rummaging
I
in
did
the back
too.
of the
Yeah,
vehicle.
I heard it,
but
like,
in
yelling.
that time, though, there was so much time for us to check out the car.
We enjoyed
And I was
this.
getting so upset because I'm the only one there who actually cares about this car.
Well, no, and so that's going to make you really upset that they let me drive it and take it for a test spin for about 2 hours while you were still rummaging with all the stuff.
We kept calling for him. We said, "Dane,
Dean, I'm literally
Okay.
picking up anybody in this thing.
People who know me know
And
I
then-
love a good depreciating asset after it's depreciated.
Yes,
It's
you do.
awesome. Maserati, it's going to depreciate a lot. But in that case, that car's actually cool. I like that a lot better than the Ghiblis and the Quattroportes and stuff.
What was
But
fun,
anyway,
though, was we were leaving. We all got in the car, and Dane goes, "Holy cow, there's a Maserati!" And they're like, "Yeah, Dane, we already saw it. Let's go. Come on, we got to leave."
and I'm like, no,
And he
that
goes,
one
"Did
is actually
anybody
that
get-"
nobody's seen that one except for in pictures and spy shots
So
and
that's
stuff.
the only one in the world.
That's it. So anyway, looked like they're shooting some commercial press material stuff. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about Car Week is because I've actually got a video set to release the
Yes.
second this Q&A is over.
nice.
And I wanted to make sure that y'all watching this actually hung around and on the channel and then check that video out. As soon as the Q&A here is done at 4 o'clock MST our time, you will see a video where you get to meet the detailing crew, the
Wow.
PNS detailing crew, the McCall's detailing crew from Car Week
Yeah, it was
2021.
great.
So I want to make sure people know about that and have a chance to check it out.
Yep. We all got to check out that car, and all Dane got was this measly hat.
Well, at least I got a hat. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. I'll remind you again near the end of the show just to make sure people are aware.
Yeah, tune
and
in.
this has been a good time to allow people to build up some comments while we
Right,
chat.
That's right.
So, speaking of which, why don't we get into these?
Hey, Piggy Trucker Jones saying, "Good morning, Rag Company. Welcome everybody to a wonderful
Good morning.
Friday Eve.
Good
Ready to rock
morning.
and roll." Dan Pfeiffer, a good afternoon. A word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC crew. Got my Dream Maker order so far. I'm impressed with the product.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Umberto with a hello, TRC team. What's up,
Hey, hey.
Umberto? And RSX Freak
Ooh.
79 saying, "Sup, fellas? Happy Friday Eve. I'll have to catch the Q&A later as I'm currently stuck at work. Thanks for all you do."
Thank you.
Follows that up with I purchased a vehicle that was treated with Dr. Color Chip in some areas and then it was coated with EXO. Is it safe to use a pressure washer in those areas? Any tips you can share for washing those areas? Thanks. And then says, will I have bonding issues with the KC-SO02 on a vehicle coated with EXO? I do want to maintain that coating as best as I can. Should I get a bottle of C2V3 just to play it safe?
It's a great question.
Good.
Gabriel. That is a great question.
Ooh,
So
outed.
So yes, it is absolutely safe to pressure wash that
Oh,
because it's been pressure washed.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
How do you know
Multiple
that?
times. I may have done it myself.
Okay. All right.
So you can absolutely pressure wash it. It's totally fine. Obviously, don't stick the nozzle right on the color chip areas, but you're totally fine to pressure wash it. And then I would say that SO2 would be fine. I think that it would still be a good topper. I think C2V3 would probably chemically work a little bit better as
It
they were
bonds a little
designed to
better.
work
Yeah.
with each other. So I would most likely go C2V3 on top of the SO2, or on top of the XO instead of SO2. So
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
Fair point.
Exactly.
Next up, we've got Mike C.
If I detail an engine bay with Magic Wheel Cleaner, Green Star, and brushes, just like All Day Anthony, what should I cover up besides the alternator and the air intake? Should I let it dry completely or almost dry before motorplast? Well, I'll tell you, Mike, motorplast needs water. It
Yeah.
needs water as
Yeah.
an essential ingredient
Activate.
to bond
A wet
to
surface
those
helps.
engines.
That's what we did on my vehicle, no?
Motor
Yeah.
blast? Yeah, we did.
That's the one that you
Yeah.
throw on my engine. We wash it and
Yeah.
just.
You don't even
rinse
have
and
to
just
think
spray
about it.
it,
It's just like,
close
wet
it
surface.
and-
bzzz,
Yeah, it was.
Close the
yeah,
hood and
that's
be done with it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
You can also turn the car on, let it run a little bit.
Yep.
That way it heats up
Heat
a little
up.
more and it helps dry out some of that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
would say that overall, I mean, yeah, intake, alternator, if you're really worried about it getting wet, I mean, we've pressure washed some alternators. And I mean, as long as you're not sticking that gun right in there,
Right.
A little bit of water isn't gonna hurt it. But I would say intake's probably the most important thing. Anything else that you like to look out for, Juan?
My rule when you pressure wash a vehicle or surface or something that has clear bra or an engine, the rule is hey, if you're gonna use your pressure washer, as long as you
Get
know
up
you can
close.
pressure wash it and as long as you can pressure wash it and put your hand, like as far as and where you feel that it's kind of cleaning but it's not hurting your hand, that's a good distance. Now, if you keep going close, you're gonna damage something. Obviously, you're gonna damage your hands. So yeah, you don't want to damage your hand, and you don't want to damage.
Yeah,
your
well, most
parts,
people
okay?
don't know is a commercial pressure washer, or even some of our pressure washers, you get up an inch or two away. If you hit your
Oh.
hand with that tip, it cuts.
It cuts.
It
Mhm.
literally
Okay.
cuts you like a knife. And that's something you need to be careful for, especially when you're around cables, hoses,
Mhm.
things like that, because you can
Mhm.
slice
Yeah.
those
Yep.
pretty quickly
In a
and
heartbeat.
not realize it.
In a
Well,
heartbeat.
at 25-degree nozzle, it's
Yeah.
great, right? 15-degree might be a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little too aggressive, but 15, I mean, probably fine. It really just depends on your pressure washer. I mean, if you're using a 1700 PSI pressure washer, you're probably fine.
Like a Sunjoe SPX 4000.
You'd be
Correct,
fine,
but-
but if you're
using
too
like
A
a
close,
6,000
three-
PSI with a
well,
0-degree nozzle
yeah,
is a
no.
bad
If you're
idea.
using a
Oh, okay.
3,000 gas
Yeah.
pressure
Today I
washer with a
learned.
0-degree nozzle, you're going to cut right through that block. And so, yeah, I would say that's probably fine. And then if you want to play it safe, you could also use a hose. The thing is that a
hose
pressure
is
washer
good.
is technically going to put less water in that engine bay than a hose would, because a
Yes,
hose
true.
is just going to saturate
Less
everything.
gallons per minute.
A pressure washer is going to concentrate that water, and so that's what I would do. And then if you're really worried about it,
Steam
steam
clean
clean. Steam is
Steam
awesome.
clean
it.
So, next question, Esteban
Coca.
Yeah.
As a hobbyist, do I need to know about whether my clear coat is hard or soft? And what about depth of clear coat? Should I care? Thanks.
Oh, my friend.
So, easiest rule of thumb, if it's a German vehicle, it's probably pretty hard. If it's a Japanese vehicle, it's probably pretty soft. Now, when you get into the domestic vehicles, Fords, Chevys, Dodges, they're all about the same. Some of the newer Chevys and the higher end paint colors that cost a little more money when you're packaging a vehicle, some of those are a little softer. So blacks, some of the tri-coat colors, some of those things, you need to just be careful. A lot of it goes in just learning about a car. And as a hobbyist, learn about your cars. If you're working on your cars, learn everything you can about them.
Your
Learn
car.
what the paint is on it. Learn what type of stuff they You can find all this out through Google. Very simple. But depth of clear coat is good to know. If it's been a brand new car and you've had it your whole life, it's not a problem to not worry about it. If it's a car you recently purchased or picked up and it's used or secondhand, it's a good idea to find that stuff out just to know, because you may be having to repaint a section in another time, or
That's what I
maybe
was
you want to
gonna
put
say.
some PPF on something. It's good to know, because that will help negotiate that. Anthony, if you bought a used car,
Yeah.
would you want to know that stuff? If you were a hobbyist,
If I was a hobbyist, and if I want to know if the clear was hot or soft,
hard or soft or thin or thick.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
that's just
right?
because that's me.
But it's also stuff you're
but
gonna
not
find
everybody-
out
But
in
other
practice
people,
anyway.
people are like they're aware and they don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
You know-
like Dane. Would you care?
No, because I understand in my case, I daily drive a vehicle. It's going to be out in the elements. I park it in the garage at night, but it spends a lot of time outside. All day here at work, there's construction going on. I can't prevent that. I just have to accept that the world is out there and it's going to happen
Yeah,
to
but
interact
if-
with the car sometimes.
But if you cared enough to go, I wonder if at least I should have a paint thickness gauge. I wonder if it needs to, when it's going to be painted or need painted. Would you care about that?
Unless I'm someone who plans on polishing it myself, no.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
I-
But
and
you know
that's-
what? This question could go on how many detailers right now actually has a paint thickness gauge.
Yeah, that too.
Seriously, not a lot of them. Not
Yeah.
a lot of them.
So, Esteban, the fact that you're asking these questions is good. I would do the research. I would try and figure out exactly
Sure.
what kind of car you drive, find out the issues on them, and look in some of the message boards. There's a
Owners'
lot of
forums
forums that'll
are
tell
great-
you. Owners'
great
forums that'll
resource.
tell you, hey, watch out. This color is very hard to. We heard from our detailers, very hard. It's strong. It's a good coat. Good paint. So
Yeah.
just do that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
David Cervantes is saying, "Woo! Happy Friday Eve."
Hey, got
Oh,
dead
dead-
pedal, Andrew.
All right, I did a test spot of Dream Maker on the 95 Ford Ranger. I think the paint is too scuffed for it to have any effect.
It's pretty scuffed.
Maybe time for a wet sand and paint correction.
Good
I
idea.
agree.
I did, however, detail the engine bay with some purple power and selective use of Sonex wheel cleaner on some visible metal surfaces, and I'm pretty proud of how it turned out.
Nice,
Well,
dude.
good for you,
Very
Andrew.
good, Andrew.
Yeah, no, we found wheel cleaners can sometimes be very effective tools under the hood. You just got to be careful in how you use them.
Indeed.
All right. Next up, we got Mario.
Hi, I have a black car, ceramic coated. I use Bead Maker as a top coat, but every time I use it, it streaks, and I'm not using it in any direct sunlight. Any suggestions? Thanks.
The new.
Mario, where are you at? If you're in a high humidity area, it's probably a good idea to spray it on the towel instead of the car's paint.
Yeah.
High humidity usually has a higher chance of streaking. Also, what is the humidity? If it's over 50, 60%, that kind of has an issue.
Well, another thing you'd want to know is, sure, it's coated, but are there other protective products already on the surface on top of that
Well, that's what
coating?
he's saying. Is
And
he's
you're putting
using it
them
as
on
the
top of
top.
that.
He's also always using it as a topper and washing it, right? He's built up way too much protection.
So
Give it a
Yeah.
couple
you
minutes.
had
So-
success before. You're saying every
Also,
time you use it,
too-
it streaks, but did it streak the first time
Well,
you
what-
used it?
No,
And
but also too, if you use the same towel to apply Bead Maker
yeah.
and you saturated a lot of product in there, you're gonna need some streaks. You have to use just enough product, or else because the surface is coated, it's rejecting that. And if the towel is actually not absorbing the coating, the Bead
Sealant
Maker,
in this
it already
case,
has
yeah.
a lot of protectants already there that is not absorbing. It's not gonna let it absorb the product out of the paint surface.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I would
so
just like
there's
to
a lot of
point. I'd just
factors
like
in
to
that
point
question.
out, literally, the basis of one of the reasons why Dream Maker was created. One of the reasons, one of the many reasons. Bead Maker, right? With consecutive use, and you're building up constant amounts of protection, it's more likely to streak, especially on a coated car that already has a ton of protection on it. And so that's where a product like Dream Maker would be best suited for somebody like you. And it's funny because people say, "Oh, I never ever heard people saying that the car has too much protection and Bead Maker streaks." I've never had an issue with that. I'm like, well, there it is, right? It's literally right there.
Right
Yeah.
there. And to
So,
fix that,
and to fix that, I would just switch to maybe using something like Dream Maker every week,
Exactly.
and then for every wash, and then use Bead Maker once a month.
Yep.
Okay, now here's a clue. I see later on he actually commented and said it streaked the first time he used it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's probably more to do with humidity and the towel
Correct.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
that is something to consider.
All right, Matt, do you guys recommend CTV3 on trim as standalone for both new and old trim, or doing an application of something like CarPro Pearl before or after helping with it give a darker look? You can use T1 tire and trim. You could use, if you're looking to stay in the G-Technic line. But honestly, if it's a brand new car, it shouldn't need to be dressed.
no.
You should be able to just protect it and call it good. The
Yeah.
dressings are there to rehydrate. That's the reason
That's
you
it.
use the dressing, is to rehydrate the plastics. Now, if you're running through a car wash, they will dry them out much, much faster.
Mhm.
So just be leery of that. Watch out for that.
I mean, another
But-
product that G-Technic has that is actually really good for all the
C4.
trims, and is the Easy Coat. I mean,
Yeah,
you
Easy
want to
Coat's
protect the
another
whole the glass, the paint, the plastics. I mean, everything. Easy Coat is just your,
Yeah.
good protection. This is going to protect you about three months.
Yeah,
So,
it's a
yeah.
good product.
It's a
Yeah.
great product.
Juan,
Humberto.
Humberto saying, Juan El Magnifico Gonzales.
Hola, amigo, ¿cómo estás?
I hope Anthony has practiced his Spanish for the
Oh,
next
sí.
video.
Ah.
Hola, senor.
Wow,
There you
it's like
go.
I'm there.
Thank you, Olingo.
After spending, several weeks around Juan, I've started to pick up on a couple things.
Oh,
Something like tu madre es lechuga.
that's not what you said.
What is that?
Your mom is lettuce.
It's lettuce.
Dang
Almost
it.
lettuce.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
didn't
I'm
teach you
way
that.
off. Okay, sorry.
Somebody
moving
out there
on.
is laughing very hard.
Alex
right now.
Dewar saying, Happy Friday Eve all. Hope everyone's doing well. And Ed saying, hey, TRC team, I got to say, had you guys not included those FTWs in the Dream Maker kit, I don't think I would have tried them. I'll be ordering some orange ones for the Bead Maker. Nice.
Nice.
Good move. They're worth it, aren't they?
Yeah. Dead Pedal says, it's like you guys are in an operating room. You
Yes.
all look dashing with those masks on. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
A
We've
very
all,
dapper operating room.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
we
know
should take
how,
a picture.
I don't know who of us you would have wanted to be operating on
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that.
I like to think I have a pretty.
I'm fine. What are you talking about?
I have a pretty steady
Yeah, we
hand.
let Dane. He's had operations before, so he
You
knows.
see how well I paint things.
Yeah.
Just imagine that,
Yeah.
but with sharp tools.
We all saw the whales,
No thanks.
buddy.
Nope.
Ed, welcome, Juan.
Hey, thank you.
David
Hey.
Cervantes says, prepare to bring on the controversy. It's pop.
Pop.
That's what we
Pop.
call it. Or I call it soda, I guess. I don't call
Yeah.
it pop. I call it soda. So, all right. Neil White said, for a second there, I thought you guys were staging a bank robbery.
Mm.
We're trying.
A
Get
detail
extra-
robbery,
get a little extra
perhaps.
All we
money.
need now is 3 Honda
Yep,
Civics.
3 Honda Civics, and we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Umberto
yes.
says, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Always.
And
Okay.
Ken Jeeper saying, it's the muffled mafia. Thank you.
Hey, I think my voice is actually translating fantastic through this.
I think it's
mask.
coming through
Sounds
pretty
just
clear.
Thanks to
I
our
don't
friends
know.
over at Color Lock for making this possible. It really is.
These are actually technically like pop filters you can
It
wear on your
is,
face.
yeah.
So for
They're
those who
very
are
nice.
into microphone technology,
Yeah.
the pop filters now move to your face.
That's
you know
right.
what? I gotta say that this mask actually, you can breathe, and
Yeah.
breathe out, breathe
Yeah.
in, and
You
you're
don't
right,
feel
man.
it, like,
you don't
down
feel
your-
like it's there.
Yeah.
You don't feel like
That's
the
when we
heat is
got
there
at the
or
beginning of the
smell is
pandemic.
there.
They sent us almost 300 masks,
Oh
and we
this is-
used
this
them.
is
Every
good,
single
man.
person here grabbed one, grabbed multiples,
I'm going
and
to grab
that
some
was
more.
our masks forever. Everybody
Yeah.
used them because they worked so well.
Yeah, they're
And they-
They're
killer.
washable. We just
Yeah.
wash them.
Yeah.
We could wash them. We used them a long time.
Scrubbin' Bub says,
Ooh.
"What's up, TRC crew? Can you apply a EXO over CSL after CSL is cured?"
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
It's actually encouraged.
Yeah, and you can actually apply EXO almost immediately after finishing CSL from your starting point too.
Yep.
Nice.
An hour. Yeah.
Yeah, about an
takes
hour, right?
Yeah. Paolo saying, what kind of towel is best for glove box duties? Well,
He's trying.
Paolo, there's a towel we
Whoa.
like to call the glove box towel that is a limited edition
We don't
item.
sell it, Levi. We don't sell it
We
anymore.
don't. That's what's so great about it.
So
I think
how
he's
does that
like
help
trying to get a
him?
free one or
If there
something.
are anybody that has glove box towels for sale, you can post them up, and I think you'll probably get quite a pretty penny for them.
Oh no, you're gonna create
'em
like
up,
a
bring a
StockX
trailer.
secondhand market for those.
BringATrailer.com's got these 20 packs of
Used
glove box
towels.
used towel. No,
Oh.
so Paolo, my towels that I use that I keep in my car, I love eaglets. So the little 8x8 eaglets of our Eagle 350, amazing little towel to have in your car. They're
Fun
perfect
size.
size. The other one that I really, really like for this job is Purple Pearl.
Yes.
Throw a Purple Pearl in your center console. It's just tight enough of a weave that you can clean your glass with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 70-30 blended towel, so it's still very soft, so it's not going to scratch your
Plastics
nav
or anything.
screens or your gauge clusters, things like that. So it's nice to have that towel on hand. I also use it for my phone to clean my phone screen, clean my glasses, all that kind of stuff. So Purple Pearls or eaglets. Anthony, do you have
choices.
anything to add to that?
No, I think you got it spot on.
'Kay.
And then
Okay.
back from the dead,
Ooh.
Mr. Grant Hawtrey himself.
Hello, Grant.
It has been a
Hey, what's up,
while,
Grant?
right? He's
Well,
a-
I'm glad you kind of changed the spelling on that because that bear was a little more cussy.
yeah. So I mean, basically, so Dane, he's your favorite New Zealander.
Oh no, let's not get back into the
He is
whole
his favorite.
New Zealand
Ah.
Australia
Oh,
thing. No,
New
Grant's
Zealand.
awesome. He's asking,
Did
did
you
I
return
share
his
my
family
truck?
to him, or are they still?
No, they're still there at the attic.
Jeez.
Yeah,
They're
I
on,
know.
what,
still-
like 90 days.
The thing is, though, is that we're rolling into the colder months, so it'll be
Yeah.
nice and at least
They'll be quieter.
it'll be quieter, not as hot,
Oh,
and I
okay.
don't
Well,
have
it'd
to
be
be
delightful.
I don't have to be passing him so many
Waters.
waters and it's actually it's hose water.
I hope
Oh,
you start
okay.
passing him blankets soon because there's only a little transition period
Dang,
and then
heat
it's all.
rises. Heat
Dang,
rises.
heat
Oh,
does
boy.
rise.
So
That
do
poor
not
family.
worry.
Grant, I'm so sorry they're treating you this way.
Dead pedal.
But Grant says, Dane, did you share your
Oh, my-
what was that? Then you get to read it.
Where'd it go?
Oh,
there
took
it
it
is.
away. Did you share your truck, Teddy Bear Grunty McGruntface? Is that
He
the
said
new
there
truck
was
name?
a bear, little teddy bear I should put on the front of my truck, except
Oh.
it did not say
Oh,
Grunty
okay.
McGruntface. It said something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dead Pedal said, I absolutely applied to be a Grand Ambassador. Hopefully I hope you get picked.
Yes.
Just so you know, I don't have any
control.
control over
no.
who gets
So
picked.
anybody who
That's
gets
nothing.
mad, direct your commentary
what
to
I do.
Anthony.
I don't put this on me. It is chosen by
Anthony has final
the
say,
higher ups, in
but
the
he
company.
has
Yeah.
the rest of us
Yeah.
review.
Sure.
So he's like,
Yeah.
hey, what do you think of this pool of like 20 or 30 people? We put in our input, but we don't have the final
Yeah,
say.
no, I just tell the ones.
So we're like,
ones I
oh,
don't
that's
like.
good, or that's
Yeah.
middle of the road.
We used to
you
have
know.
a small panel, and it consisted of me and one other person.
Yeah, they're not.
And then
here
she
anymore.
left, and then now it's just me. I'm the panel.
It all weighs on you. But I would say, Grand Ambassadors, successful program? I think so.
Very
I think
successful,
everybody's
yeah.
had a
Jamie
lot
the
of fun
Cleaner
with that.
says TRC Ghost Adventures is definitely the show we didn't know we needed.
See,
Honestly,
that
we could
definitely
do
needed.
that.
We need
we
it,
could
man.
do that while we're there taking photos. Is we just have someone else go off and make a video.
Just a bunch
Yeah.
of fake Winchester
Hello?
brothers, or
Hello, guys, aren't you behind me?
It's just
Oh,
like it'll be
man.
something like we've lost somebody, like there's a person missing,
Yeah.
and we have to track them down.
Yes.
Just
within
watch.
the
They're going to
prison.
start calling
Yeah,
me.
we
Well,
lost
out of
Dane.
everybody in our team, who would be the person that would go missing?
Dane.
You think
Yeah.
it'd be Dane?
He has the worst sense of direction out of any of us.
Mm.
Okay, that is true because he got lost at the Quail.
He also
2
got
years
lost
ago.
in Las Vegas.
He
Yep.
also got lost in Las
Yep.
Vegas. So yeah,
I'll get
Dane-
there fast. I just won't know where I'm at.
Sorry, so we don't know where we're gonna place you, but we're just gonna let you lead to your own
Well,
devices.
we're going to
and-
blindfold you first.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I'm going to be the one in the hallway going in the
Well, you're
door
gonna
that
have
then
the
pops up
cameras.
somewhere
Yeah.
further down the hallway, and it's that silly
Yeah.
back and forth.
You'll
you
have the
always see.
cameras on.
Yeah.
You'll have the camera and
Some
you'll be
real
blindfolded.
And then
Hanna-Barbera
at a
moments
certain point,
yet to
we
happen.
released the live cougar within the
Well,
prison.
that's
Just-
probably already there.
No, I think that's when Josh suddenly appears, and then he gets attacked by that.
that and the
live cougar,
rattlesnakes
so that's,
are already there.
yeah.
They live there. That's part of the
Well,
deal.
at least I can hear him coming.
Oh,
All right,
too
so
All right, Graham
next
Marshall,
up.
happy Friday Eve, lads, and Juan.
Whoop. Oh, that was the last one there.
Hey, all right.
Yoshi.
I heard
Yoshi.
Dane will be purchasing the Idaho State Penitentiary and turning it into his mid-century modern mahal.
That's a very G. Davis comment.
yeah,
You know,
very
Yoshi,
G. Davis comment. Yoshi, appreciate
It just
that.
so happens that there are a lot of incredibly nice mid-century homes right near where the penitentiary is.
Well, Dane, the penitentiary
Right
is
in
a
the
central
foothills.
courtyard. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it is a central
Yeah.
courtyard.
Yeah, it has a central court. That's all I've been asking for.
Got a sally
hard to
port.
find though.
And
in
it's
a
got a
modern home.
gated entrance. What
Yeah,
more
It
could
does.
you
What
want?
else?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Brick, I
close
could-
The
Parties,
master
man,
bedroom
right
comes with
there,
extra
dude.
shackles as well.
I like how you imply that there was always going to be some. There's just more now.
Various shackles and the spring.
Jeez. Anyway, Umberto here, just saying hi to folks.
Umberto saying hello. Detail Dude PL, happy
my.
Friday Eve. Hey, man. Dan Raleigh, how many PNS Gloss and Shine products and why?
The names can be a little
All right,
confusing
so-
if that's what you're getting at.
Dan, speaking especially to you, Dan Rainey,
Yes.
here's the deal. PNS Paint Gloss. It is a quick detailer, meaning it is used to remove dust from your surface of your vehicle and provide an anti-static property. That's what its job is. It has cleaning agents in it, so it can emulsify and encapsulate that dirt on the surface and remove it from your vehicle safely and easily.
Like a waterless wash.
Correct.
Mhm.
Bead Maker is designed for protection and slickness.
It's a sealant.
It is not a quick detailer.
No.
It needs you need to use a quick detailer first. Then you use that for protection and slickness. Now, the new one on that block, Dream Maker. Dream Maker amplifies the gloss even more over the other two. And it also provides some anti-static properties, but it also adds a lot of slickness.
But it
So-
does not bump up the protection.
But it
the way
doesn't bump up the
other
protection,
does.
correct, and it doesn't clean the surface. So that's why. Very different products. You don't need all three of them. We would love it if you bought all three. You don't need them. Many people could get away with just paint gloss and whatever else protection product they're using. Some people, like myself, Anthony, Juan, Dane, love Bead Maker because of its ease of use and the level of protection it provides.
But at a certain point,
But
you
there are
can't
many
keep adding
times-
Bead Maker forever.
just-
You switch to Dream Maker because you don't want to pile on too much.
Exactly. It's
protection.
just like the comment, the earlier comment, there was
Yeah.
like it was having streaks, and that's why, Dream Maker is actually a good product for this customer.
Well, and I understand that
So-
it's very possible Dan here is asking
Just
this
options.
earnestly, like
Yeah,
he actually
so
means
that's
it. But I
why.
can also, I've seen a lot of people sarcastically kind of
but
like
that's,
pushing
that's
that.
why. So that's your basic explanation.
So
One's for cleaning,
truth.
one's for protecting, one's for literally showing off.
Loss.
yeah,
Yeah.
Detail Dude, if you guys were to choose one strong cutting compound that came out in recent time in terms of cut and gloss, which one would it be?
Oh man,
Last Cut Plus?
yeah.
Last
Last cut, man.
Last cut is my go-to.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the stuff. It really is.
all right.
CHS Baseball, Capital High School Baseball. What's the best interior detailing spray? We love PNS Express. We also love Koch Chemi's Polestar and All Surface Cleaner. Both are really great products.
Yep.
Yeah, for just a quick
Yep.
spritz of some kind of just some cleaning up. That'd
Yep.
be a good go-to.
Yeah.
Poets
Um,
Flamel.
Yep. Happy Friday Eve, fellas.
Hey, hey.
Anthony, you can do this one.
Okay, I got Tom Kirby says, here and glad to see a full studio today. Wow.
Thank you, Kirby.
It is
We're
very much so.
Very happy to be here.
JR digging for dirt.
Any word on a new Bead Maker 2.0 coming out? JR, we don't know what you're talking about.
No words.
Nick Diaz. El seguro usar Green Star sin diluar en los faros. Juan.
Bueno, en los faros, pues obviamente los faros, what he's referring is it safe to use Green Star diluted in the headlights.
Oh. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's seguro, es
Well,
sí es
that means
seguro,
if
pero
there's bugs on them and
Yeah,
trying to break
to
down
remove
whatever,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
lo puedes remover, pero siempre y cuando mi respuesta para esto sería que tu vehículo, número uno, esté sobre sombra, número dos, que esté en una temperatura baja. So what I said is that my recommendations is that number one, keep it on the shade. Number two, do it on the surface. Make sure that the surface is not hot, so it doesn't damage your headlights.
And a related follow-up from Alex here.
Alex, main differences on where and how to use Green Star and Polestar. Anthony?
Good question. Okay, so Green Star, it's interior and exterior use.
Mhm.
It's an APC. I mean, it should be used as an APC. I mean, really, it's a universal all-purpose cleaner. And so depending on the dilution, you can use it on both interior and exterior. Whereas Polestar is going to be primarily used for interior. So it's an interior all-around cleaner. Now, the big thing is that Polestar is going to be safe on Alcantara. It's going to be safe on pretty much all interior fabrics and plastics and literally literally everything on an interior. And so Green Star, chemically, because of the higher pH, not everything will be safe to hit with Green Star, but at a higher dilution, it would be safer. So realistically, you could work at like a 20-to-1 to 30-to-1 dilution on Green Star for everything interior and have no issues at all whatsoever. Whereas Polestar will give you a little bit more cleaning power. It's a little bit more, it's a little bit better within fabrics
pH neutral too.
and a little bit more pH neutral, yeah, to be able to use and just kind of feel a little bit safer about the process in general. So it's good to have both in your arsenal. I think that Green Star, once you dilute it, you get a ton of bang for your buck. And I think Polestar, because of the size and the ability to use it 1-to-1, 5-to-1, you'll also be able to get a lot of bang for your buck too, and just the 1 liter sizing. So I pick up both and just have them in your arsenal, enjoy them. Polestar builds up a wicked lather, which is great for also using with an interior detailing brush, such as the Detail Factory Ultra Soft Brush.
Okay.
DJ Apache.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to keep getting pad stall with my LHR 15 Mark III. Any suggestions?
Don't put too much pressure on
Yeah,
it.
too much pressure.
Too
Bring
much
it up,
pressure,
let it up,
adjust your angle.
Yeah.
I mean,
level the machine out and just hold on to it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to press hard or just lightly hold on to it and see if that helps. A lot of pad stall happens mostly from overpressure or angle.
or I mean,
The angle.
for me,
The
it's
angle.
often angle.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure that you've probably marked your backing plate, but if you haven't marked your backing plate, I highly recommend taking a Sharpie, marking a
couple
line on your
lines.
backing plate, so that way you can actually know if it is stalling out for sure, or if it's just spinning but at a slower pace. And other big thing too is knowing how to kind of throttle the machine within an angle or within a body line of a vehicle, and that's the other big thing too, because once you start getting good with it and understanding the machine, you start doing that second nature without even, you don't even think
You
about
look
it.
at it,
I mean,
yeah.
you'll bump up the RPMs on it,
Yeah.
and you'll adjust to that area, and then you'll back it down the second you pass over it, and it's a fluid motion. Whereas some people, they set it to a 3, they lock in their trigger, and then they
Put their hand
they
on
run
top
it. But
of
with
it.
the Mark III, you have a variable trigger, so you could potentially set that thing to 4 or 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6
You
even.
know, 5 or 6, and then with that progressive trigger, throttle it around that area
Yep.
to find when you're getting rotation and then moving out of it.
The
Yeah.
Rupes 15 was designed to be one of the machines, and this is what I have learned from Jason and Dylan. The Rupes 15 was designed to be the all-in-one machine, so more likely the detailer machine. That's why it's a
Yeah.
detail machine, and you can use it on small areas, bigger areas. But yeah, like if we're doing a Corvette, if you're gonna be working on a Corvette, you want to. There's areas like Anthony said that they're like this. Putting your pad is gonna stall, so maybe that's a good way to grab your 3-inch machine and just work in smaller areas. So
Well,
that's what I.
and for someone who's newer to polishing, who may not be familiar, it seems to be something that everybody has to eventually learn with
Yeah.
newer polishers is more pressure does not necessarily equal more cut. You're creating more friction,
Yeah.
which then raises the heat, which
And-
then reduces your effectiveness. So really, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you put too much pressure on there and you get stalling potentially. It's a lose-lose more often than it's a win-win.
Did you have any stall issues when you were polishing the BMW? I know you were actually out there polishing your BMW.
I know,
with
they're a
your
little
15
surprised by that. No,
you
I
hand-built
I
yourself.
spent a few hours doing that. I never stalled once. I was using a Mark III as well.
Nice.
Well,
But
another thing
yeah,
too is
very
that
happy with it.
if you do have a 3-inch machine, right, and you're polishing a vehicle, and let's just say however you segment out that vehicle and you dice it up in your head on which areas you're tackling first, second, third, fourth, whatever. When you're going through and you get into, let's just say, an intricate area where a body line has an extreme curvature to it, or an angle where you sit there for long enough and you're like, okay, I can't get quite the rotation I'm looking for or the correction I'm looking for, because we all know that angle, that divots, and then you take your light and you have perfect paint, swirled, perfect paint, and you're like, I just can't get enough rotation in there. Then you already mentally mark that in your mind that I'm coming back with a 3-inch and knocking out this area.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you move on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, it becomes second nature, and you don't really think too much about
You
it.
end up wasting a lot of time if you get
Yeah,
too
don't.
fixated
If it's not
on
working
a
out for you, and you
thing
have
like
another
that,
machine that you know can do the job, don't hesitate to switch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nope.
Next question.
Great
here.
point.
Alex Carrillo saying,
But Tom Kirby after him. Kirby
how
Thompson.
effective is the PNS odor kit? I have a customer whose son left his boxing gloves in the car to dry. Now, it's really stinky in the car.
Ah.
So, the odor kit is actually very effective, Kirby. It's very nice. The biggest thing, though, is making sure that the car is clean, making sure that there's probably not something else that is in there that smells. Boxing gloves in a car, yes, will smell. But does that customer have every door pocket and nook and cranny cleaned out? Or
Well,
did they
they
leave
sounds like
something
having
else
they
in
need to get
there?
some new boxing gloves, though.
And are they rolling
Yeah.
those windows all the way up and sealing that car nice and tight up there in sunny Houston, where it's nice and moist, letting that car just really bake in that sun? Biggest thing, if they have a garage, pull the car into the garage, crack those windows. Let that thing air out in the evenings. That's something they need to get onto. Second, you need to have them check the interior of the vehicle. Make sure there's nothing left.
Nothing
Make sure
in
there's
there.
nothing spilled under the mats that's moldy. Because who knows? What if they had a water bottle that cracked open and poured water under one of the mats, and under the mat is much moldy, and that's what they're smelling, and the boxing gloves are not the issue. So, favorite game,
good
find
way-
the smell.
A good way for this detailer to actually find out if there's any spills in the vehicle is the black lights.
Yeah.
Grab yourself a black light and
You can pick
just
'em up at Home
inspect the
Depot.
vehicle. Once you remove all the particles,
You might
of the-
regret it.
you might see
Yeah.
things that you
But seriously, as a,
weren't
as a
expecting.
detailer, I mean, you had one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have one, and I
Yeah.
use it a lot. And especially, when you're looking for milk spills, dog
Yeah.
waste, and stuff like the mice.
Yeah.
You want to use the light because sometimes you're attacking, you're extracting or steaming a seat, and the problem is not on the seat, it's actually on the side of the carpet. So you want to concentrate that. Now, another thing that a lot of detailers don't do, and I extremely want to recommend to do, is when you are working on a vehicle that has got smells, for crying out loud, the first thing you want to do is inspect your cabin filter, because a lot of customers, even you guys, when was the last time you actually removed your cabin filter of your vehicle?
Yeah.
Right now, the recommendations of removing cabin filters is like once a year, but with COVID and all these things, it's best to do it at least every 6 months. I mean, it's just a way to keep the vehicle more fresh, more clean, and more.
Well, and
better.
now they even make cabin filters with Febreze in them
Mhm.
too. So they add a little air freshener infused into the cabin filter, which is really nice. So one of the big things, I did have a customer. She brought her car to me. She goes, I just bought this thing 2 weeks ago. It stinks. I don't know what's wrong with it. I need you to find it and find the smell. And the dealership's going to pay for it. And I said, oh, okay. We opened the doors on it. Car is brand new still, right?
Yeah.
Nothing in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. We're going to find the smell. Here we go. Matt and I go through that whole car. What do we find? Very first thing, I move the driver's seat forward.
Nice.
A box, a to-go box from a restaurant. Open it up, French fries, half-eaten hamburger,
There you go.
completely covered in mold.
There you go.
I took a picture of it, didn't even touch it, just took a picture of it, sent it to her, said this was in the back underneath the driver's seat and opened it up, took a picture of the burger all moldy, and
Yep.
she goes, oh my gosh, the third day I owned it, me and my best friend went out to dinner, or went out to lunch. I grabbed my food and I put it on the floor in the back, and then she drove home, and it probably slid under the seat,
Yeah.
and she forgot to grab it out, so she left it in the back seat of the car.
Awesome.
And it just sat and got bad.
That's all
And
it takes.
90% of the time when my wife calls me and says, hey, my car stinks, there's something super heinous in here, I need you to look for it,
Under the
it's
seat.
food.
Uh-huh.
And it's Augie leaving half-eaten chicken nuggets or half-eaten apples in the door pockets and the seat pockets. under the seat.
It's not your car. It's your kid's car, man.
Well, and because when you're dealing with the food, it takes a while before the perishable
Yeah,
becomes
we forget.
perished.
Yeah.
You don't notice it. By the time it starts happening, you've forgotten about it being there to begin with. So, of course, it's not the first place your
And my
brain goes
Suburban,
when you're thinking of
you guys remember
what
my
the smell
Suburban?
is.
I smelled a wet smell. I had a leak somewhere in the roof
Yeah.
and a big heavy
it went to
rainstorm,
your-
and it trickled down the sides and was under the carpet, and the
Yeah.
carpet was soaking wet. And so, a lot of places. But the point is, odor kit does work unless those other things aren't there.
Yep.
Could you
So-
spray some like Terminator enzyme in those gloves?
Yep. Esteban says, thanks, gentlemen. Kirby Thompson, any price point for an Ozone machine that Juan could suggest?
Ozone machines. I do have one Ozone machine, but it's actually a Brazilian machine. I think it's like about $1,200. It's very hard to get here. I was actually lucky enough, to meet the guy that actually owns the company and just give it to me. The name of it, I don't know, but I mean, you
Anthony has one.
know more about Ozone machines here in the U.S., guys.
I have, dude. I got that Amazon one.
Yeah.
So it's blue. It's blue. It's like
Okay.
it's like $80-$90 on Amazon.
Oh.
It's meant for a car or
Yeah.
a small room. I don't know the brand.
But yeah,
but it's not bad. I mean,
But
it's pretty
Kirby,
good.
I've got your email. I'll have Anthony find it. I'll email it to
Although
you.
one thing that I want to
good one.
recommend about Ozone machine, guys, I mean, a lot of people think because the virus and everything, you want to clean your vehicle with an Ozone machine. Just remember this: too much Ozone machine on your vehicle, it actually dries the particles, your plastic particles. So
Yeah, it dries them
imagine
out.
all your cables, and you keep putting the Ozone machine every once a week. Those you just aging your plastics. Next thing you know, those plastics, those cables, the plastic gets dry, gets
They
cracked,
crack.
and then
Everything cracks.
you start getting electrical
Your
problems.
dash
So you
cracks,
just
your vents
It's the
So
reason
make
why all
sure
the Dodge Ram
you only do
dashes
it
crack
once in a
because
Or
while.
if you own a Volkswagen from the
Yeah.
mid 2000s.
and if you're gonna be doing Ozone machine on your vehicle, for crying out loud, do it outside your shop. Don't do it inside. I seen when the pandemic was hitting, and this lady was doing a live video, put an Ozone machine in her room, walks in, look, I got an Ozone machine to kill the virus and this and that. And it's like, I'm feeling kind of weird. I was
Oh my
really
God, get
on her
out of the
live video. I was
room.
like, get out of there.
Get out!
Put a mask, turn that off, and open the windows and get all your family out of that house because you guys are gonna die.
You
Yeah,
can't breathe
no,
ozone.
no joke.
You can't breathe ozone.
So
Plain
no,
and simple.
it's actually don't do it.
definitely
Be careful with those
makes
machines.
it feel a little weird.
Yeah, no, you kind of
Like all it takes is like a second, man. Like
for those people that are wondering what it feels like when you breathe ozone, it absorbs all the oxygen in your lungs. So
Yeah.
it feels like
Well,
you just got
it
the wind knocked
separates
out
it,
of you.
It separates the. I don't know how the scientists go, but they explained it to me once that the air it grabs it separates the
Particles,
particles,
the molecular
the
structure.
molecular particles, so it actually kills all the life out of it. So
All that's
then,
left is
and
ozone.
then it just then when it passes through the ozone, then it puts it back again. So the one that is sucking, it's actually separated it, killing it, and then puts it back out.
Which is why it works, but
So
it's
yeah,
also
works
what makes
good,
it
but yeah,
dangerous.
It kills. it basically
Kills
it
almost
ages
it.
your plastic,
Yeah.
so it kills it. So
So it's
don't-
like getting altitude
uh,
sickness.
But Kirby, I'll email you one that we find. So Ricardo saying, "What's up, TRC crew?" Hans says, "Go on Amazon and look for the Ethereal Ma 10K Pro." There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Mario says, "Yes, it streaked the first time." Mario, are you in a humid area?
He's in Southern California.
Okay. Curly Wolf, sorry to join late. Congrats to the TRC Hombres on an amazing season finale in the Heap Car Challenge. Thank you, man. It was so nice to see the Hennings join the fun.
The Hennons, but yes, thank you.
yeah,
That was great.
That
Thank
was
you, man. We
fun.
appreciate it.
All right, on to page 2. We got David.
David, what pads would you recommend for a Corvette or Mustang? I'm polishing and coating a ZL1 and a GT350 this weekend, and I want to be as efficient as possible. Thanks. Honestly, man, the Rupes pad system works perfectly. The blue, the yellow, and the white. I'd probably get a couple blue coarse, blue in the blue foam and blue wool, and I get some yellow pads for the yellow foam as well as the yellow wool, and I'd grab the whites. Those 3 pads are basically proven to get almost every single, or 6 pads, I should say. Well, 5 pads. are the ones that you will have the ability to do everything. The other thing you can do, pick up a couple reflection artist kits
The
in the
reflection
5-inch or
artist.
6-inch. Enough pads to do everything that you need,
Now-
and you can step up and step down in
Yeah.
aggression. So
On the reflection artist, I was gonna mention that because that's my go-to, pads that I use a lot on my shop, and for the cutting purposes, actually on Ford and Corvettes, it all depending on the year, but more likely, more likely is gonna be like I use like a wool pad. I'm sorry, not the wool pad, but the blended oral fiber.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, that one. And for cutting with the last cut, and then I use the blue one.
the blueberry.
The
yeah.
blue one for polishing, and it gives me a good results. Now some paints when they're pretty soft, then I turn around and I use the white pad from Rupes and their polishing, the white polish from Rupes, that gloss,
Yeah.
something gloss.
I also like the maroon. I think
but
Buffy
that's
Shine maroon.
that's very rarely when I use that. But those are the two combination pads that I use with the two compounds. Yeah. So yeah.
Now, I
Very
realize the paint's going to be the same, but I'm going to be that really pedantic guy for a second.
Oh, dang.
He
It
said
happens.
Corvette, but then he said ZL1. The Corvette has a ZR1, but the ZL1 is a Camaro. So you either have a Corvette or a Camaro, depending on if you meant the ZL1 or the ZR1.
He probably meant to.
Just saying, but the paint
Dane,
would be the same.
What if it's an old Corvette ZL1? That was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're talking about the one from the 60s, that's the
No, it
only
was the
time.
80s.
No.
Yeah, Dane, I had my uncle.
The
had
ZR1 was the 80s,
No,
90s
Dane,
one.
there was a 1980 model ZL1 as well as a 76, 77.
How could you guys possibly know this
You're
stuff?
thinking like L88s and
Let's
stuff, but
move
no.
on.
It is
Let me just
Yeah.
tell you something that
Ridiculous.
I don't know much about the models on the cars. I just work on them. I know more
I
about
look
the,
forward to
I
the
know more
comments
about
of
the
people
paint
raging.
than I know about the models of the
Yeah.
vehicle.
The aluminum block ZL1 of the 60s is different, and those are incredibly rare. And
But it-
I'm sorry, but I doubt that's what you're working
But
on.
it's
so
cool to
it's
hear
either a
you
saying
ZR1
he's not a
argue
Corvette,
about it.
Taylor.
or it's a ZL1 Camaro. But it
Okay.
can't be.
Very nice.
both.
Next.
Sorry, I'm that guy.
Moving on, we
Yeah.
have somebody that I'd like to call Tom Kirby.
Yes.
Who says, "Thanks, Hans. Looks to be looks to be out of stock now, but do have the Dig model for is that
Probably
what
the
it says?
digital
Digimodel
model.
for
Digital,
128. So
That's not bad. 128 for. You got to remember, Kirby. I would charge $100 to do some of these ozone treatments.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Actually, 150 now.
Yeah, or 150 now. You could charge.
all you have to do is set it in there and turn it on.
You
Fif-
just don't be in the car.
Mine is really is the
But
one that I
yeah.
have is really like concentrated. It's like a little. It's a little one, but it's like on steroids, dude. You only leave it for like 5 to 10 minutes, top.
Really?
When
Oh,
before
wow.
you can leave it for like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This one does the same exact thing from like 3 hours to like 10
Yeah.
minutes, dude.
So
It's that.
point is though, charge 100 to 150 like Juan says
Yep.
for
Yep.
odor removal, and add that to your interior detail. I mean that pays for it right then and there and gives you $20 in your pocket. So, Shoemaker, hey guys, I pulled my UBS out from being stashed in the back of my garage for a few months. I kept it in a bag with some O&R. It turned moldy and I had to toss it. How should the UBS be stored?
Dry. UBS should always be stored dry. And it actually says that on the website, if
Yep,
I remember right.
yep.
It should be stored dry.
It's not like the big red sponge.
Yeah, it's not like the big red
Correct.
sponge. So it's actually best stored dry to prevent that from happening. So unlike the big red sponge, the UBS can go from being wet to dry to wet to dry. It'll never affect the sponge negatively. If anything, it gets softer with time. So just dry it out and store it. We've been doing it for over a year now here.
Works
Yeah.
just fine.
I've got mine are almost over 2 years old.
So yeah, so
It's a
they'll
different
hold
kind
up
of
great.
foam. So
What do we got here?
Umberto.
First from Puerto Rico said laughing emoji. Anthony, how do you say that? What's vote?
I don't know. You're Portuguese.
Both fala Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, I
fala
don't speak any.
He wants you to speak
I don't,
Portuguese,
I don't
man.
speak any Portuguese. It's unfortunate.
I do.
You do?
Uh-huh. Bom dia. Como vai?
I don't even know if that's.
That's from Brazilian. Brazilians
Brazil
speak
speaks
Portuguese.
Yeah.
I
Bom dia,
know,
como
but
vai?
like Portugal Portuguese is kind of different than Brazil Portuguese.
Oh
This
boy.
is Brazil.
Brazilian.
no, we're doing that.
Family.
Just like I
Shoemaker
speak
saying,
French.
And follow up, does the same go for the big red sponge? No. Big
Different
red
foam.
sponge can be stored in O&R.
Mhm.
UBS, ultra black sponge, can be stored dry. That's the difference. They may look the same. They may come from the same manufacturer, Lake Country, but they are very different foams, and they react very differently within O&R. So always remember that.
Zach.
Black can be dry, red can be wet.
Zach says best drying towel. So Zach, it's the best drying towel for
Around the
your
horn.
use. But we
man.
all have different favorites here. But I would say the best place to get started would probably be the Liquidator.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What else? The Gauntlet.
Gauntlet.
Yep.
Gauntlet.
The Double Twistress.
Double twistress.
The Twist and Shout.
Twist and shout.
The big one if
Try
you're
me a
into
river.
indie
The
stuff.
big one.
The big
I-
one.
I-
The big Juan is the good one.
The big one.
The
The
big
big one.
yeah.
No, the liquidator, my friends. Once I put that towel in my hands. Literally, it was like, this is not gonna work. Literally, that's all we use. I mean, we have bought so many of those towels, and those are the only things we actually use in our shop, and that's the only towel that I actually recommend to my customers to
Nice.
dry their vehicles.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Maybe-
a true believer of that towel. that
Comes in different
Liquidator.
sizes now,
It's
too.
just-
Maybe someday something like that will get
Awesome.
bumped up to like 1500 GSM.
Ooh.
Be the one towel to rule them all.
Beefy.
Oh.
Maybe.
So beefy.
Maybe
Wow.
not.
That'd be
So
nice.
much that one customer actually ended up buying a whole case
If
of
we,
that.
Dang.
if we sell, would it be cool if we created a towel like that and we sold so many, you and I could each buy a new 1500?
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's like the base mod, like the work, like the tradesman 1500.
Yep.
It's like, this is my new truck, right?
You've got your
Have
vinyl
manual
seats,
windows,
your
vinyl
rubber
seats,
floor, your
Rubber
crank
floors,
window.
But hey,
What do
it's
you-
4-wheel drive and it's got the Pentastar V6 in
Yeah.
it. Wait, you
This
got the
dash is
V6
more
in there?
plasticky than I
Couldn't afford the
remember.
bigger motor?
Tradesman version,
Oh,
baby. That's
yeah.
it. That's the
Couldn't
one.
put a
It's
Hemi
the
in
W
there?
slash
There's
T
a- there's a
model.
lot of- there's a
They're
lot of
white
towels.
trucks. They're just white.
There's a lot of
That's
towels
it. That's
to
all they
choose
come in.
from, but
No fender flares, no fancy
Yeah.
stuff. They're
Call their
white
friends in
inside the
Mamba to
wheel
get
wells.
some wheels and
Yeah.
tires on these damn
Yep.
So the question to this guy is, there's a lot of drying towels that the rag company carries. You know, you just have to find the favorite one for you.
Yeah.
Personal
and then,
preference.
Post Sentinel says,
Aw.
Dane, your BMW Z3 promotional video was way too good, by the way.
Hey, big shout out to Andrew Howell. You may have noticed he's dead pedal here in the comments here. He did the voice on that. So I want to give a big
Yeah.
thanks to him. He did an awesome job at that with that crazy script I gave him. He really sold it, you know?
He did.
So thank you,
100%.
Andrew. And we got Curly here.
Poll. When do you each address the bugs and tar during a car wash? Do you do it before a contact wash or after? So, Curly, I'll just tell you, in my experience, I never touched tar until after we were done washing the car.
Mm-hmm.
I always made sure I washed the car and I treated tar as an afterthought because I used to use lacquer thinner and it would wipe off very easily with that. So I would do bugs first because that was when I do my prep. I'd spray a bug remover, a degreaser, all-purpose cleaner
Mhm.
on the front of the car, inner fender wells, tires, lower rockers, inner fender wells in the back of the vehicle, bugs on the windshield, all that. Then I'd just start washing.
Yeah.
If we had to scrub them, we scrubbed them. If not, and then I just did my normal contact wash, then I'd pull it into my other bay, grab some lacquer thinner, and remove the tar. That's what
Mhm.
I would do. Anthony,
Mhm.
you just removed a ton of tar
I
this
did,
past
so
week.
I wash first, right? Because the reason why I want to wash first is because that tar may have a ton of grit within it,
Yep.
right? It could have
Exactly.
sand.
Yeah.
It could have all sorts of stuff. And so if you start removing that tar with everything on there, not only is probably the tar
You could-
removal product you're using causing the paint to swell, right? Or
You
causing
can't
the paint to expand, you are the clear is softer at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's so much easier to scratch that potentially. So you want to wash that first, make sure you have a clean surface, and then do your tar removal, and then you need to neutralize it. And so any type of tar removal product you're using, like let's just say KCX Ulex,
Yep.
highly recommend going back over and neutralizing that on the surface. But I do that then. Bug removal is usually after I start pressure washing it first, and I'll start my pre-treatment or pre-treat, then pressure wash and see if that's able to get it off. But the other thing too is that I try to clean an area before going straight in with a Jersey bug scrubber, just because I want to avoid any marring if possible. But yeah, different ways you can do it. But the good news, we're coming up on winter,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least I know us here in the north, we don't
Yeah.
have to deal with
Yeah.
bugs
Yeah.
for a
Deal
good
with
a good
bugs.
amount of time. but maybe down in
And
the south
construction.
they're still very much a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a saying that says, that in Idaho there's two seasons. There's winter season and construction season.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's why we have the
Construction.
bugs and the tark and all that stuff on every other year.
Yeah, we never really escape. It honestly, it's honestly when there's no snow on the ground and it's just like
Cold.
freezing ass cold outside. That's when it's the cleanest.
But the
Yeah.
problem is there's all the sand that they put on the
Yeah.
roads
then there's the
when
sand
it snows.
when it snows. So ideally, it's before the snow comes. When it's too cold to do anything, that's when you get out on the road and
Yeah.
you go, "Wow, like this is driving weather
Yeah,
right
they haven't
now."
put de-icer down and they haven't put
Yeah.
sand down.
At least
This is
it's not
perfect.
salt. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's all.
Now, I want to put an input on this one, like as a detailer, as a mobile detailer, and also a place that has a shop. They're going to be bottling about when are they going to be spraying the bug removal, because the bug remover product. Like some detailer will tell you before you spray it down, and some of them will tell you after. The ones they tell you after is because when you're outside, it's hot. You want to make sure that you want to cool down the surface before you put any chemical into the paint, because the paint is hot and it's on the sun. So you want to pressure wash it first, put some coolness in it, put some water, and then apply the product. When you're in the shop, you don't worry about that stuff because it's not getting direct sun, and you can pre-treat it first before you do your first rinse on it. So it all depends on what kind of detailer you are as when you apply the product.
Yeah. So on that note, why don't we take a brief little break,
Oh,
and then
nice.
we will jump back
Yes.
after these brief messages.
Hey guys, it's Dane here, the Rag Company, and do you know what's better than Q&A Thursday? Yes, that's right, it's Wash Wednesday. Not just because I host it, but because it is a genuinely entertaining and hopefully informative series where we take cool cars, cool owners, and wash in an impromptu interview setting. So make sure to check out Wash Wednesdays right here at the Rag Company YouTube channel. See some cool cars, see some cool people, and maybe learn a thing or two.
Hey guys, Levi for the Rag Company. And in case you've been living under a rock these last few months, well, have I got news for you. You can go back and binge the TRC Rex content you want. That's right, we have neared the end of our TRC Rex build. What is TRC Rex? Well, it's our 2004 Subaru WRX STI, and we literally bought this car and completely rebuilt it. So go to the Rag Company YouTube channel and you can binge literally from the start all the way to today, which, well, we're pretty much done. But the point is, you can do just like Netflix and binge every single episode from the comfort of your couch. So go check out TRC Rex right here, the Rag Company YouTube channel.
Hey guys, it's Dane here, the Rag Company, and here on the Rag Company YouTube channel, we've launched something new and exciting. We all love seeing garage tours and seeing how other people's garages are laid out, and we thought we would do our own twist on that. And while we aren't so obsessed, we're definitely good enough. And so what we want to do is make an entire new series, bring you guys along and doing garage tours of different people's garages to see layouts, what they've done with the walls, what they've done with the floors, what they've done with the lighting, the storage, the tools, the detailing products, and so on. It's going to be a really cool series to hopefully give you guys new ideas and maybe make it more relatable to everybody watching. It's not Obsessed Garage, but it's definitely good enough garage. So check that out here on the Rag Company YouTube channel.
Hello, and welcome back to Q&A Thursday, where none of the other guys are ready, but I literally didn't leave my seat. So it worked out. Said hi. We're back. There is notably Levi missing here next
we
week, but
got
he'll get back
Hans
here in a moment.
Closing.
We'll do Hans here.
Jumping in.
Yes.
With Tom Kirby, I have the MA10K Pro for about 2 years now. Have done, what's this says, maybe 10 cars in only 20 minutes. It was done. So I don't know about the Digi version though. So interesting.
Fun to try to run to the bathroom and back in less than 60 seconds.
Glove box, Todd. I have
happened to
10 of
our-
those since Hans. And then First from Puerto Rico says those masks should look cool with any of the TRC logos, starting with
Yeah,
the
you just
skull
throw a
base.
little
So, fun
white
fact,
TRC
if
logo
you
on there.
are going to be coming to SEMA, our game plan at the moment
Mm.
is to have some of these bad boys printed with the Rag Company logo on it. So you'll be able to get one. But we'll see. So
Nice.
otherwise, we'll just be wearing them.
Kirby Thompson.
Agree with Humberto.
Then
Bomb Detail.
Bomb
What's
Detail.
up, everyone?
Oh, Grand Ambassador Bomb Detail in the house.
Hello.
Jeez,
Wow.
Levi
I'm
is
glad you were wearing that.
sneezing.
Well, I'm glad we got our masks on, right?
What GSM are your masks? I want to say
Space
that's probably in
Man's
the
babe.
realm of
On those, they are 100% polyester on the outer side.
probably what 250 GSM.
Probably, yeah.
And
They feel-
then
Bomb Detail.
Thicker-ish.
long live Jake from State Farm. So what you guys don't know is that I give each of the Grand Ambassador groups on Instagram, the group chats that I make,
Yeah.
I give them their own names.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
oh, nice.
And so the Q1 of
Wild bunch.
2021 is Jake from State Farm.
Nice.
So whenever a new DM pops up, it says Jake from State Farm, and
know
it's
that.
hilarious. And so the other guys, I have like Grand Ambassador Dream Teams. I have the Unwanted. I
Oh,
have
nice.
a couple. There's some interesting names out there.
I
These
like
all
that.
sound like
Yeah.
sad boy car clubs.
They are, and it's fun.
That's great.
Khakis is
Mm.
another one.
Keys.
Dress slacks.
AA wrong 311 wanted to try Soul for my new Tundra. Will the bottle still be good for when it times for another coat? Also, is the coating safe for the black vinyl that Toyota applies on the window pillars? So yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biggest thing is make sure you close that bottle, make sure that lid is tight, and then put that in a cupboard somewhere and keep it safe. Don't leave it out somewhere in the sunlight. Don't leave it out. Like, just put it in a
Room
cupboard.
temperature.
Nice temperature. Keep it clean. Keep it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it tight and keep it clean, as our friend Pan, the organizer, says. Right?
He does say
Is
that.
it keep it tight, keep it right, keep it clean?
I kept saying, get it right, get it
Get
tight,
tight.
keep it clean. And he goes, no, it's keep it clean, keep it tight, and we'll catch you on the next one. And I
Is
said,
it, no, I think it's keep it
Keep it-
clean.
I said, get
keep
it
it
right,
tight.
get it tight.
I just wanted
Get
to
it
know
right,
what
get
the
it tight.
tight.
Like the old
I
song.
just wanted to know what the
Get it
tight
right,
meant.
get it tight, get
I
it right,
asked
get it tight.
Pan. I said, "What is
Get
what
her
is the
done.
tight portion of
Just
this?"
get her done.
And he's just like, just keep it tight.
Keep it tight, bro.
I'm like, I don't really know what you're trying to say
Tie it
here.
up.
If,
Tie it
if
up,
you
get it
become a
done.
YouTuber, you gotta have a
Keep
slogan.
it
That's
tight,
like
keep
a
it
thing.
clean. I'll catch you in the
Just
next
get her
one.
done.
What's up, guys?
Get it
Okay.
right, get it tight. Keep it right, get
Yeah.
it tight.
All I know is smash that like button.
We got
Okay,
Chuck
so-
Norris. I mean, Tom Norris coming
Chuck
in.
Norris.
Says, is it safe to use FTW towels on the paint? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using them for everything at this point, but I just realized the FTW means for the windows. No, it's for the win. Tom, use the FTW on everything
Yeah.
exterior. You're going to be absolutely fine.
They started on Windows, but they evolved.
They
Like
did.
they're all
Yeah,
over.
they
now.
evolved into a last step towel.
We got Hans Closen yelling, Morgan McFoam Murray.
There you go.
We wonder how Morgan's doing. We haven't
Yeah.
heard from her in a while, but
She
I
pops
think-
up in the
This
chat
morning. She
sometimes.
texted us this morning.
Yeah, that's what I mean by I haven't heard from her in a while. She usually gets pretty bored down in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
She's like,
Does.
hey,
Anyway.
what's the TRC team doing today?
And we're like, Morgan, you've literally not stopped texting us all day for the whole week.
Yeah.
And she's like, I miss you guys. And we said, yeah. Well,
Today she said she wished she was a cat. And I was like, what does that
she
even
did,
mean?
Yeah. And you guys said, you are a cat.
Yeah.
Things are getting
And
grim.
I sent her a picture of Maureen Ponderosa from It's Always Sunny. She didn't understand.
No, she didn't. It was
oh
funny.
no.
Moving on.
Kirby Thompson, yes, the FTW is safe on most paint. Hans, but his question will be that will the whole prison have mirrored ceilings?
I think that's an unrelated purpose. Okay,
Oh,
so
good.
we've got oh man, we got complaints here about labels.
Oh, our
Oh.
marketing PNS's marketing team needs to be replaced. The labels look awful, and the names of the brand and the products are ridiculously long. Laugh, cry.
Okay, give me one example of a long product
Yeah.
name, right?
Oh, you're
One.
inviting what one?
Give me one example of
The rest are
longest
short. There's just
product
one
name.
very long one.
Yeah.
What? They all go by two name words: Dream Maker, Bead Maker, Pearl,
Yeah.
Express.
And that's all there is on
Yeah,
the
if you
label.
go by the
There's
actual
literally
name we call them,
no
then it's
other
short.
words on there.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris, but Bead Maker is the most sold enthusiast. But Bead Maker is the most sold enthusiast deep sand product, so I guess they're doing something right. Yep, that's right. Core Spaceman, no denying they're a great product. Marketing leaves much to be desired, is all. Corey B. Where's AP at? What's this
Well, I
one?
pulled up AP because that was the next question.
Oh.
The rest you're reading here are all
Yeah,
past that.
Okay. Hey, gents, great content. How long can O&R diluted last in a spray bottle? 32 ounce. Weeks or months?
Actually left several months, according to what
Very good
Ivan
months.
was telling us back in the day. The color is not
Stable.
stable, so you'll lose the color, but the actual polymer characteristics of the product will last for months. I think that they say after about a year,
Yeah.
it starts kind of over.
So what I used to do at my shop, I'd take a 5-gallon jug, fill it with 5 gallons of water, pour 5 ounces of Bead Maker in there, or
Yeah.
of O&R, I mean, set it up, and that was our glass cleaner. 256 to 1, and I'd sit there, or 2.5 ounces, I should say. And then I made another one that was a 1 ounce to 1 gallon mix, and that was our clay loop.
Yeah.
And so my guys would just use it until it ran out. But it was within those first few days, we'd lose the colorant, and it'd just be clear liquid at that
Still
point.
smells
But the
good,
particles
though, for
are
a
still
You
while.
can
there.
still smell it, yeah.
Now, Corey, I got you here. This one's a fairly straightforward
When
one.
using paint gloss and Bead Maker, what do you add first? Paint gloss.
The
Clean
point is,
surface.
paint gloss is a cleaning product. Bead Maker is a protective product. Paint gloss has gloss in the name, but that's just a byproduct of having cleaned the surface. It's not a gloss enhancer the way the Dream Maker is or
It
Bead
has a
Maker
gloss
is.
enhancer, but it's not
It
like
has
Dream
it, but
Maker.
it's not as extreme as the others.
Bead Maker and Dream Maker.
This is where people get confused. They just got to cut right to the chase and
Yep.
make it super clear.
Clean and protect.
Maybe they're not all detailers, man. That's why they're.
Well, I'm not either. That's why I try and like speak to the layman, like make it more clear for how I see it.
Yeah. Spaceman Spliff.
Oh God.
All these random old dudes, name them. Poets
brother.
Flamel, what's your favorite music while detailing? We made a whole
Oh, gosh.
YouTube video about it.
There is.
So it's-
Let's
You know,
video.
I would like to ask the audience what music did they think I actually listened to, and they will be surprised if
Ranchero.
I tell them.
I know what you listen to.
Nope.
Oh,
Ooh.
I thought it for sure it was Ranchero.
Classical.
I think he listens to Enya.
No.
Oh.
No? Oh, it's
Hardcore rap,
Nope.
opera.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
when
that's
I'm
what I
when I'm
listen to.
actually
Classical
wanting to
adjacent.
detail, like I'm in my zone.
Yeah,
Opera.
yeah,
That's the music. It just relax you.
yeah,
It relax you. It's just working.
yeah.
But on
Opera.
another
I
day,
do.
it's
When I've got a
different.
heavy cutting job, same thing.
Opera, not Oprah. Opera.
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 You
Yeah.
should honestly
Okay.
just try listening to a movie. Like, so
Anthony,
after
that's what an audiobook is.
so after
Here we
after
go.
That's really what it is.
So
I
listen to
use
me.
my imagination.
After rewatching Tropic Thunder just the other day,
Yeah.
So
I was
good.
thinking to myself, I need to listen to that movie while polishing because I think I would just be dying the
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
entire
No,
time.
that's the best thing about it.
So
You're
but
just
yeah.
sitting there and you're like trying to get an intricate area and suddenly hear booty
So,
sweat and you're just like,
One
no.
of my
Booty.
Yeah, but one of my
right.
favorite
Oh my
audiobooks.
By Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Al Pacino.
Oh man.
Chino.
Al
Try it. Detailers, try it.
Scott Mattern.
You'll see how
I will
relaxed
say
you
real
get.
quick,
Yeah.
favorite audiobook to listen to while
Mhm.
detailing. One of my favorites because I laughed so hard through the whole thing is Neil Gaiman's Good Omens.
Oh,
If you
good
haven't
omens.
listened to that book or even watched the Amazon show,
Yeah.
watch it and then download the audiobook and listen to it. It is absolutely hilarious.
That's
One of my
fun
favorites.
Okay. Scott
Scott.
Mattern says, "Good afternoon, guys. Do you suggest touching up rock chips before or after a light polish?"
That can go both ways. I always recommend doing it before because of the fact that you have a tendency to knock down the edges a little more. It's gonna look a little more professional, a little better. However, I've had multiple times where I've had the guys do the paint touch up prior to me touching the vehicle. My only concern is that I do have to go back and touch up some certain spots.
Mhm.
Just
That's my only
yoink it
issue.
right out of there.
So that's why I'd rather save that extra step and just do it after I'm done polishing. So, Anthony, though?
Well, I've always done it before the polish.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that Dr. Color Chip can withstand, at least the color chip system I use, Dr. Color Chip, can withstand polishing and compounding.
Right.
That paint gets pretty dang hard. I've never had an instance where I've had a Dr. Color Chip actually fall out of a chip or chip off or fail. I've always done the prep right, and I've always made sure to take my time. And I mean, these guys have seen me polish over chipped areas, and it never falls out. It always works and stays just as long as. I mean, I think the longest running chip I've had filled now is like 7 years or 8 years, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, so I would say, I'd highly suggest it. Doing it before the polish. If you do it after the polish, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that when you are filling a chip and you are leveling it, let's just say with like the Dr. Color Chip towel, or you've overfilled or you've done something, you might be wiping off that product and actually marring the paint in the process of trying to fix that area, meaning you're going to have to polish over it anyways.
Again. Yep.
So it's just do it before, do it right, polish it out.
Get it
Don't go
tight.
too
Get it tight,
hard
yeah.
in it.
Get it right. Get it tight.
Get it right. Keep it tight. Keep it right.
Anyway,
And,
Spaceman
keep
Spiff
it-
here, complimentary of TRC
Keep it
Marketing.
right.
Well,
keep it tight. And keep
thank
it
you,
clean.
buddy.
A lot
Alright.
of reasons. That's a good life lesson.
And so, reflections now.
Reflections. What's up, boys? Been a while. Still blessed. Still best day of the week. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Congrats. Curly
Curly.
Wolf, Anthony, Honda Civic 2010 question.
Ooh.
What could I do for the B-pillar trim when it's all dinged up on the edge?
Hmm.
Looks like it came with a non-removable layer of clear film or something over it.
All B-pillar trim when it's all dinged up on the edge. So are you talking about the black trim that looks like vinyl? Because they have that on there. It looks like it's a removable layer of clear film or something over it.
It's probably vinyl.
It might be just vinyl on it. I'm trying to
Toyota
trying to
does that.
visualize what that trim looks like on there
It
right
could
now.
also have been locked at one point, and then they stuck a break-in
yeah.
tool to get in there, and that's what chipped it up or tore it up.
Dude, I
So-
see that all. I mean, I see that all the
Yeah.
time. And it's funny because once you see a car
Like
that
that?
has some marks in it right there, you know something's happened before in the
Yes.
past. You're like, what is that from? Oh, that makes more sense
Yep.
now.
Mhm.
But some of those B-pillar trims are a very durable vinyl that they put from the factory. It's like very thick film. You can replace it if you want to. It's a total pain to do. On the older Civics, it's nice because it's a removable piece, which is
Mhm.
really cool. You just pop it off with a screwdriver. So I don't know. I'd have to look it up and see what it looks like. But if it looks like it can be removed, I guess calculate what is it worth it to remove it or fix it, or is there something else you could do to try to cover
Yeah.
it up?
There you go.
Ken Jeeper says, Saw Adams has a small gauntlet like one-sided glass.
There's a lot of
towel.
pauses in that.
Well, Saul Adams, I know, I couldn't see it over there. Saul Adams has a gauntlet like one-sided glass towel. Got me thinking, could the FTWs be shaved like the gauntlet to create a similar towel?
Yes, but we have a gauntlet 12 by 12.
Yeah.
It's already out. You can grab it right now. Use
Yeah.
it.
Ooh, I like Yoshi's comment here. What does
Hmm.
it say, Dane?
Along with the shackles, Dane's mid-century modern Mahal also includes a dual-purpose electric massage chair, a guillotine, and the hanging contraption is included as a gift from the state of Idaho.
That's right.
Oh,
Well, that
nice.
is quite the gift.
Gosh.
One that I wish I had the receipt for so I could return it.
Oh.
Spencer B, hey guys, I just watched Levi's video on him using a steam cleaner for the rinseless wash on a WRX. My question is, how does using steam affect the clear coat, i.e. large temperature changes? It's not as large as you think.
By the time it hits the surface, man, it's already cooling
Yeah.
off. I
Yep.
mean, it sets up in seconds to.
Let's understand one thing about the steam, how the steam actually works. I mean, if you want to kill like bacteria, this is what the guys from steam actually taught me. Say, okay, if you grab the steam, you put it right here. The steam is coming in pressure. By the time it hits, it's actually just warm. It's not
Yeah.
affecting it's not creating any heat. It
Not
really
that
isn't
hot,
creating.
yeah.
When you concentrate, when you put like a microfiber or something, you
Or wrap
concentrate
around
the
it.
steam. it actually comes up more slower, so evaporates. So that's what creates the heat. So when you're steaming, you're doing a wash steam in the winter time, and the video was more likely for the winter time when we wash vehicles, because when you're mobile and you're washing vehicles outside in the winter time, it's difficult because if the water will freeze. So it's actually much easier to use the steam. But yeah, the steam is actually gonna unfreeze all the water particles.
Mhm.
So it's gonna give enough time to actually clean. So yeah, it's not gonna affect it at all.
No, and the biggest thing is we're so far back. If you're watching that
Oh,
video,
mhm.
I'm not that close. What I'm
No.
doing is using the steam to blow off some of that dust as well as encapsulate a lot of that dust to help
Mhm.
whatever's left over is getting trapped by the ONR. So
Yep.
it's just trying to make sure that I've got everything as much encapsulation as possible and emulsification.
Yeah.
It's a great technique.
Trisha!
Hey.
I got overspray on my car. White little dots all over my car. What do I do?
Oh,
If I go to a
contaminants.
detailer,
Right.
how much would this cost me? Ballpark numbers. Trisha, I can't tell you how much that costs because I don't know where you live. So, the way it works is it's going to include a wash. It's going to include either a clay and wax or clay and seal. That could range anywhere $100 to $500. Just depends on the detail shop and who's doing it. Now, there are certain ways many detailers could probably get all that off without hurting the surface. There's a good possibility, though, that those dots have been on there for a while, and they're going to have to go with a clay bar instead of a clay towel or a clay sponge or something. They're going to use a clay bar. That clay bar has a tendency to mar the finish. So they are going to have to do at least a one-step polish or an all-in-one or something on the car to help bring back some of that, remove some of that marring.
Yeah.
So those are the reasons. I can't really tell you. It could be anywhere from, like I say, $100 to $500. It also depends on the amount of overspray and where it's at. It could be $1,000. Let's just say the neighbor was painting their picket fence and they sprayed your car, the side of your car. That's a lot of overspray. Or some kids got a hold of some spray paint cans and spray painted your car in the alley or a parking lot. Like, there's a lot of issues that go into it. So the biggest thing I would find out is if, one, insurance can take care of it. That's an easy way. Find out how it got overspray on it, if you know, if your neighbor was painting his house or something.
I'm sure it was, and it all depends on what kind of paint it is
That too.
Because if it's like a road paint, it's gonna be harder to remove.
Yes.
If it's a house paint, it's a water-based paint, easier. If it's
Road paint,
the paint wood paint,
car paint.
car paint, it'll be easier, but yeah, it's more difficult. So it all depends on what kind of paint it is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And Trisha, you can send us pictures. You can do any of that stuff. You can email us at the Rag Company.
maybe give her an option. Hey,
Yeah.
grab yourself buy yourself a clay.
Yeah, you can
towel,
buy the clay kit.
towel, and then the ONR or the clay. You guys, we sell.
We can get a clay kit. They can buy.
Yeah,
she
and
can
then
buy
just do a test spot.
clay
and then
spray.
You can see.
She can buy the Kosh Chemi clay bar or the Rag Company clay bar, the Ultra clay bar, and you can do it yourself and try it yourself.
Just try it. I mean,
Yeah.
it
It's a
might
lot
be just so
cheaper.
simple that it will take you an hour of labor time and
Yeah.
just boom.
Yeah.
Then you got it for
yourself.
next time.
Kirby or Jody
Jody.
Hightower, how did Last Cut and 3D1 compare for a one-step? Last Cut is actual true correction.
Mhm.
3D1 is an all-in-one product.
If you're looking for an
So
all-in-one, that's a
Last
different
Cut
kind of
has
product.
no
Yeah.
protection. However, you can do a one-step with Last Cut and like an orange pad or even a Rupes coarse pad, get a
finish it.
lot of great correction and finishing out of the surface, and then use something like Bead Maker or any spray sealant as your protective properties. So there's a lot of different things you could do with that. But 3D1 is an actual all-in-one, and it's more towards what is comparable is Uno Protect, Jody.
But I
3D1
would
is more
use
comparable
it.
to Uno Protect.
Uno
The
Protect.
difference is 3D1 has some very light waxes in it. It doesn't really have the strength of the sealant that Uno Protect has. So we're talking maybe, a difference between like a paint sealant and a hand wax between those two, where you're going to get more protection out of Uno Protect.
Tom Kirby
Mhm.
says, thanks for the tip with using a black light for looking in the interior. So thank
Absolutely,
you, Juan.
you'll probably
You're
regret
welcome,
it.
And then First from Puerto Rico says, I have the Airthrill MA5000 commercial ozone generator. Very nice.
Sounds beefy.
Then Alex Carrillo says, The other day, Sydney from PNS said something about an iron and brake buster combo. Does anybody remember the dilution? So remember that when
Yeah.
Sydney said this, she asked Dave if it was okay, and he doesn't like when people mix his
doesn't like
chemicals
that.
together, but he said that it should be fine. So I think she was just mixing it like 1-to-1, right, or something like that.
Something like that. I don't
Think-
remember.
She was just experimenting.
Yeah, she was
really.
just experimenting. It wasn't like this is a set in stone thing from PNS.
Yeah.
No.
She's not saying that this is what everybody should do, but it's something that she has done and does, and it works out fine.
The
for
other
her.
thing you can do is you can just take Iron Buster, spray it on your wheels, let it
And
do its
then just
work, and then come back over with Brake Buster, clean it up.
But Levi, that's twice as many steps.
That's options.
If you want to.
It's twice as many sprayers.
Yeah.
Tom Kirby says, thanks for the warning on over the use of the ozone affecting
That was a
the
great
plastics
point.
and vinyl. Yes,
You're
very
welcome.
Ed.
All this ozone talk reminds me of Anthony's accidental ozone dose from his truck. Would you guys recommend blowing it out with a leaf blower or just to air it out, and how long? Yeah, basically, open all 4 doors in the case of
Yeah.
Anthony's truck, grab your Ego leaf blower and blow that thing out a little bit. Try and get some of the air
Just
to
get
move.
it going. I mean,
Yeah.
it's weird because it gets trapped
Yeah.
in there.
You did that on your
Yeah.
sister-in-law's car a couple
Well,
weeks ago too. You
yeah.
ozoned her car, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go," and you're like, "No."
Well, it gets
Nope.
trapped
Yeah.
in there, and then
Yeah.
right when you start going,
The wind blows
You
around.
start
So
feeling
you may
it-
have a
it-
pocket that's back here
Yeah.
behind your seat. All of
Yeah.
a sudden comes out because ozone's heavier than oxygen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once the air moves, you feel it's a cloud that'll hit you.
You could
So-
just get a floor fan, point it at open the doors, and push it
Yeah, you
through
could do
that
that
way.
too,
That
yeah.
would
dude,
also.
that would
No.
be
That's what we used to
honestly,
do.
you could use an ozone machine as a torture device.
You could, yeah.
It's bad.
Let's
It's
not talk
bad
about
if
that.
you're subjected
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Now, when I do ozone machine on a vehicle, when I do ozone on the vehicles, we do it outside the shop. And when we're done, we actually
You
leave
park
the
it
doors
outside,
open
yep.
for 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, I turn the vehicle on, put the AC or the heater, let it air out for another 5
Yeah, 'cause
minutes.
that's
And
another
after
thing, you
that,
get
we
trapped
turn
in
it
there.
off, and then just let it sit there for about another 10 minutes, and boom, gone.
And then what I used to do is before the customer shows up, I would go through and hit the windows, because that's another thing you don't realize is that ozone will start to not stain the windows, but it leaves a film on the glass.
Mhm.
So,
All right, we got Associated Press with the hard-hitting facts on the ground saying,
gents,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry, Dane. You can
You're
say
good.
it in your voice.
Gents, I just bought 1 gauntlet and 2 double twist just towels. All 3 are under the size advertised. Not by fractions, which I can understand, but by over an inch, almost 2, and in both directions. Why, Levi, go?
Well, fabric shifts in sizing. If you stretch it out, it fits. But as it bunches up, it'll tighten up. It's not going to continue shrinking. That's just a normal thing. If you want to, though, AP, feel free. Send me an email, levi@theragcompany.com, and send me pictures, show me, and we'll make it right.
Yeah, simple as that. It happens.
Ryan,
All right, we've got Ryan,
yes. Does Dream Maker resist dust like paint gloss? Yes.
anti-static properties.
Joshua Kent, Juan, your hair is looking very fresh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is looking really good, man. You got that set up
Thank
with
you.
the push back like that. That's cool.
It's the mighty Gregors.
Gregor.
Gregor, sir, Gregor, sir, Gregor, Jim.
regulator.
Hey guys, I've bought a car recently and I will pick it up in about 2 weeks. I also ordered a full PPF wrap plus G-Technic Halo. How can I keep the coating in good condition? Sorry, I'm not fluent in English. That's fine, mighty Gregor.
You did
Totally
a good
fine.
job. Yeah.
You're good. Grab some CTV3, keep it washed. Use maybe something like G-Wash or Koch Chemi GSF or Pearl if you've got it over there, and just wash it. Keep it clean. Keep it right. Keep it tight. Put a little CTV3 on it, and you're good to go. You'll be fine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mario, thanks.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Damon, busy today, guys. Catch y'all next week. Have a great weekend. Thank you, man. Joshua Kent says, I swear your packaging crew are all world-class Tetris champions. I feel like Mary Poppins pulling 10 pounds of product out of a 5-pound box. That's literally what they do every day.
Yeah.
They are really good at it.
Christian, I just started detailing and it's terrifying. I really want to do a coating and paint correction, but I'm scared I'm going to burn the paint and I don't know if there's any clear.
Show 'em Gabe's video.
If you've got a dual action polisher, you can also just watch my 20-second or 20
20
minute
minute.
one step, 20-minute one-step video, in which I teach Gabe how to polish a car.
In
So
real time.
just watch that. You'll see a dual action polisher. You're not going to have any issues. You won't burn through the paint finish. You won't have any problems with that. So,
Just search Levi's
Yeah.
20-minute one step. You'll definitely see the video.
Alex, thank you guys for the awesome wisdom. And I got sent the wrong product, and Josh did an amazing job fixing everything. Amazing
cool.
customer service.
Josh
Thank you.
is awesome.
Nate Mercado, I'm doing a full correction and coating on a Rapid Blue C8 Corvette this weekend. Any experience with this paint? No, it's a beautiful color.
It is.
Christian De Leon, also my clay towel kind of melted. Lol, I left it in my trunk, maybe 78-degree weather, and it's done. Sorry, man. Kind of happens. Kirby Thompson, Anthony, if I use PNS Bug Off gallon, which IK sprayer do you suggest to dedicate it to this product? I like Levi's method of using it in bulk at the prep stage.
I would just like a multi-sprayer. That's what Sid likes to use, and she says that the multi is just great
Yeah,
because
Juan likes using it in the
I
foamer.
use it on the foam.
yeah, foamer, multi. I think anything that's just bigger than the trigger sprayer is gonna be ideal.
And my suggestion, that, like I say, my recommendation, because it works for me and because I like the way it works as a common sense, you spray it on, it's working. It's staying in that same spot for longer time instead of just spraying it and runs it all out. So the foamer, IK, I think is the best option for that because it stays there longer and it's working. It's
Dual
eating.
time, longer dual
Longer.
time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Patrick, I bet this question has been answered before. I don't watch these much. Will Polestar and Plastar be coming on the boat in gallon sizes soon? We sure hope.
That
Josh,
is
have
the
Polestar
hope.
and
I think
gallons
we
yet?
have Polestar in gallons. I'm not-
I
think
feel like we do, but we may not. We have Green Star for sure in gallons.
Joshua Kent, in the commercial, you have many different colored Detail Factory brushes, but I can't find that many on the website. Yeah, so the only colors we have are the colors that we sell, which is purple, white, blue, orange, and black, and red.
Now,
Red.
some of those are
And pink.
different purpose
Pink.
brushes.
And hot pink,
And pink.
and purple,
So if you just
and orange, and blue.
So okay, let me cover this because if you're looking through the website and you're scrolling and you expect to see a different product listed
Yeah.
for every single color, that's not how the site works.
No.
You go to the actual type of brush you want, and then the colors are listed in the associated categories
So-
below that.
Oh, there you go.
Detail Factory sent us a number of colors so that we could do a rainbow on our holder, all that stuff. That's why we did that.
Yeah.
Well,
So
colors
sometimes you have
that
the
we-
tri grips, then
so
you've got
the thing is
well, yeah.
the gray is the OEM
Standard,
color.
Standard
Right.
Detail Factory color.
OEM stock.
Stock
It's the
body.
stock color. So this was the first color ever released from Detail Factory, and when we were sent out the sample, almost 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I think is what it was. This was before the tri-grip model, but it was just in gray. We asked them if we could do a custom color, and so we did it in orange and blue,
TRC
since
blue.
that's our BSU colors. And from there, we kind of expanded. So Levi actually has a white one behind him.
Yep.
There. Now, not all of them are tri-grip, so the tri-grip is going to be different than this normal grip version here. The normal grip is going to be complete plastic, whereas the tri-grip is going to have a rubberized middle. Both of them are perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Yeah.
Thanos with
Sorry, we don't have the purple one out here.
Thanos
Doesn't
would
tip
say,
from one side,
but
doesn't tip
it has
from one
a
side to the
it
other.
has a 50-50 weight distribution right there at the well, if I can balance it myself at the handle. But
Yes.
the tri-grip is really nice, but I don't know if it's necessary for everybody. Like, I think it feels good in the hand. Dane, you tell me, you review that.
No, like in terms of how it feels in the hand, I like the way it feels better, but I never didn't like. I never had a problem with the way the other one felt.
Juan,
It's
what do
just
you-
this
Juan,
was
what do you
like
think?
a
You
really
hold that
pleasant
one.
upgrade.
What do you think? If you were going to make a recommendation, do you like the tri-grip feel or do you like the normal feel?
That's a good question, Anthony, and it all depends if you're wearing gloves or not.
Oh, that's a
Ooh.
good point. I mean, if you're gonna caveman hold it and you're just like, whatever, then it's not really gonna matter to you.
And then this
Oh,
is
there we
this
go.
is the small
There
one. We
you
call
go.
this the stubby,
Yeah,
right?
so we did
all the girth without the length.
Yeah.
So,
we did blue
Beer
and
can
orange.
Dan. All right, so
We did red and gray.
yeah.
We did all blacks, and we did the purple and pink.
Mm-hmm.
And those were, we picked the colors we wanted to carry, kind of fit with what, some of our major towels, some of our best-selling products, things like that, kind of matches our brand identity.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is courtesy of your friend Levi Gates, brand development manager here at the Rag Company.
bam.
All right, Michael Walsh, you guys are killing it today, cracking eggs of knowledge left and right on this Q&A afternoon. Thanks, fellas. You're welcome, man.
Thanks.
Julian, thanks for all the information. Have a
course.
great day.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Julian.
Umberto. Hans, I have that same one. Instead of a model MA10K, I have the MA5000. And I was amazed at how nice both work. Yes, 20 to 30 minutes a car and done. Nice, there you go.
All right.
Zach, is there a safe way to take a dealer decal off a car? Seems like the letters are just stickers, but I'm not sure how to avoid damaging the car. Thanks. Well, if it's a
You're done.
sticker, just peel them off with your fingernail, grab a little Ulex, and wipe off the residual glue. If it's a plaque, I recommend some dental floss, maybe a little heat gun, heat it up a little bit, warm it up, or just park it in the sun. And then take that dental floss, pop the badge off, little Ulex, remove the glue. That's it.
I like the
Simple,
way that
easy.
sounds.
Try not to touch it with a razor blade.
You know.
Hans, yeah, most I do is 20 minutes if it was really nasty. Spaceman, Dream Maker.
All right.
Spaceman, Spiff, Dream Maker.
Maker.
PNS Double Black, Rennie Doyle, blah, 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 blah.
All right, we got it.
Christian, they are kind of ugly, haha. Car Pro bottles are fire. I don't know what that means.
Well, you know, isn't it what comes out of the bottle that's the most important
Yeah.
part?
First from Puerto Rico, Pan says, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.
Ooh.
Keep it
And
what?
Curly
There you
Wolf
go.
says, keep
Oh.
it tight. Reminds me of what we said in the Army of a good, clean, squared away haircut. A high and tight. That's right. That's what Dane
Nice.
gets
Yep.
all the time.
Pretty much.
He walks in, says, give me the high and tight.
And they say, what branch did you serve in?
He goes, I'm not military.
Last I checked, I couldn't eat those.
Graham Marshall, or Spaceman saying he listens to Enya. That's very relaxing. Graham, after Anthony's Culture Club reference in the
yes.
last Heap Car Challenge, is he a secret 80s New Romantics fan?
No.
He just likes a good joke.
I just like a good joke.
Ed says, I'm noticing some tiny spots on my 08 Toyota black paint. I'm afraid the clear will start to fail. I regularly O&R wash and use Bead Maker to protect. Anything else you guys recommend? Honestly, if you want to bury it in PPF, that'll be the best bet for at least the next decade.
Depends on how long you plan on
Yeah.
owning it.
Take a look at those spots. I'd like to see what they look like.
Yeah.
Ed, Optimum Clear Coat Restore, or perhaps a ceramic coating? Yes, you could do that too, Ed. Christian DeLeon, I just ordered some things. I got charged twice and I didn't get a confirmation email. All right, Christian, send an email to info@theragcompany.com
Support at the Rag
Support
Company.
at the Rag
Support
Company.
at the Rag
At
Company.
theragcompany.com.
Yep.
They'll get it taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Daniel, like this coming up.
Efren,
What?
question, what's up, TRC? How can I remove yellow stains from Toyota Camry cloth seats?
can I
Try the
remove yellow
PNS
stains?
trifecta. The
Yep.
peroxide, the
Finisher?
Terminator.
Terminator.
Carpet bomber.
Finisher.
Finisher.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Hans goes and says, after Ozone machine, I take the car outside and let it run for 20 minutes with the air coat on max power.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah, let it circulate.
All right. Then we got Dan.
Dan Baruman, which of your glass products would you recommend for a Model Y Tesla, given it's a large glass roof?
Mm-hmm.
Glass cleaner.
I mean, something
Well, no.
like
PNS
what
is
brand,
TrueView.
what,
Yeah, TrueView.
maybe
Bead
what
Maker.
tower you'd use
Honestly,
with it.
Bead
I think
Maker on it.
TrueView and probably just like a 16 by 24 Drive Me a River
Yeah.
would be the towel to
Perfect
just
glass.
because it's big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you
I
you
would
got some
wanna-
real square footage to contend
Yeah.
with there.
Yeah, I would just go that route. And I mean, either or Perfect Glass is great. Any one of our glass cleaners. I mean, the Coach Kimmy glass, like all of them are great.
Yep.
We didn't choose to carry all of them just because we equally liked all three of them. So just find one that you like and roll with it.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
All right. Gil Core saying, what's with the mask? Unfollowing. Okay, Gil.
Well, you know,
Thanks for checking in with us.
if you're bothered by a piece of fabric on a face at a company that sells textiles, then yeah, I guess you weren't the
Yeah,
kind
that's what we
of
got.
person we were looking to
yeah,
have
you
around
can also
anyway.
rewind and listen to us talk about it at the very beginning.
Yeah,
of
we
this
actually
show.
explained pretty clearly. so.
Kirby Thompson, FYI, 3D1 is not a one-step. It does not contain any sealant or protection. It compounds and polishes, and it's very dependent. Oh, well, thank you for clearing that up, Kirby.
Perhaps it was confused
Sounds
with another
exactly
3D
like the last
product.
cut.
No, 3D. What's it called? Oh my gosh, what's the purple?
Ooh.
Hold on, what's it called? Purple cap by
Speed?
3D.
Yeah,
3D.
I know.
Speed, right?
Speed, that's what I was
Speed. You're
thinking. I was
thinking-
thinking
Yeah,
Speaking of
okay,
speed.
that's why. Mhm.
Yeah.
Which 3D speed is great.
Yeah.
It stains trim, which is unfortunate, but it's a
And it
good.
washes
but,
off
but,
after the first.
but it's a
wash.
good product.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
It looks great when
Hans,
it's on there.
Juan, could you show and tell about your tattoos?
Ah,
I don't know if I can see.
This gives them great eagle powers.
yeah, big eagle.
It is. No. So this is a cultural tattoo. So the American flag is my. Obviously, I was born here in the United States. The eagle is the representation of my Mexican heritage.
Yeah.
And so the eagle on the
It's a
Mexican
golden
in the
eagle.
Mexican flag is the eagle eating the snake, right? But instead of eating the snake, you can see right here, it's not holding a snake, it's holding a buffer. So it's my Mexican American detailer. And then this is the I just forgot the name
God
of
of
it.
Thunder
It's the God of Thunder. So
and
so yeah.
Aztec.
And then this right here is the first letters of my kids. So my son, my daughter, well, I'll say the names. Jordi, Naomi, Estrella, and my little one, Mateo.
Oh,
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
very cool. Oh, Levi loves this question.
Tyler Anderson, what's the deal with Wowos these days? Seems like restocks aren't coming. Are you all phasing them out for Coach Kemi?
Oh my gosh, Tyler,
Tyler,
you've
I
been
don't know
gone.
where
These
you've been,
questions are
bud.
still coming.
Tyler,
in.
you've been gone for a very long
Okay,
time.
you missed a big Q&A.
What year
a
is
long
it?
time ago.
Yeah.
Feel
So
like Doc
Tyler,
right now.
earlier at the beginning of the year, I explained the reasons.
Yeah.
Basically, Wowos went through a lot of changes,
Levi,
especially during
You're
COVID.
forgetting. It's 2021.
Yeah.
I know.
Almost 22.
Beginning of the year.
Beginning of 2021 is when I
Was it
Released
2021
that,
or was
yeah.
it the end of 2020?
no, it was the beginning of 2021 because
These past 2 years
we
have
got
been.
it. That's I know. So,
It just blends
but Anthony,
together.
you got to remember, we launched Wowos December of 2019.
Yeah, 19.
Yep.
Yes,
With-
you are
So,
correct. Yeah.
What happened was that we were planning on doing a secondary restock.
Yeah.
COVID hit in March. When COVID hit, massive
Yeah.
loss of bottles, sprayers,
Oh,
all
correct,
kinds of
correct,
stuff.
yeah.
Raw chemicals. Everything was super hard to get a hold of and very hard to do. So, while they could send a couple cases of Quick Detailer,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't make sense financially to ship these onesie twosies from Scotland to
Yeah. Oh,
Boise.
yeah, true, yeah. Yeah.
The price of the Quick Detailer would have had to double.
And nobody
triple.
would have paid
That is
Like,
not
nobody
something
would
that
have
you can
wanted
do
that.
when you're trying to launch a brand in the U.S. And so Wowos was just an unfortunate hit during COVID.
Timing sucked. Okay.
It didn't, and it's one of those things that it's nobody's fault. It couldn't work in that instance. So we had to wait until we could put in a very large order. By the time a very large order worked, it still wasn't going to be able to get over here. So
Yeah.
we had to look at the pluses and minus, the pros, the cons, all the stuff and go, should we continue this? And we came to the decision that we can't. It's not going to make enough fiscal sense for the company to do this stuff. That doesn't mean that Wowos is not a great product or a great chemical. There was no one more heartbroken than Anthony and I when that decision was made. And that is just the way it works. And
Now,
so,
Tyler, I do want to point out, I didn't mean to make you feel bad about like, oh my gosh, this question again. We've gotten a lot over the period of time here, and it's just, we hadn't seen it for a minute,
Yeah.
but it pops up frequently, and we're like, man, I thought we'd let everybody know at that point. If you're gone, totally
now
understand
you got to
it.
remember too.
There's no stupid questions on this show. We might have a reaction to something if
Yeah.
we've heard it
Hey,
a lot, but
yeah.
that's
So you
that's
gotta
just
remember-
answers.
we're human.
G-Technic is out of the UK, and Coach Kemi is out of Germany. Both are very large companies that can produce quite a bit of product. They didn't have they did have some bottle issues, they had some sprayer issues, just like everybody else went through. I mean,
They
beer,
did.
wine, everything got affected. But they were producing enough product to be able to handle the needs of the U.S. Whereas Wowos, we were going to become
Boutique.
we were their main importer of the product. And so we were technically the largest buyer of their product. It was a small, family-run business with only a few folks that were actually working. Very tiny business.
Yeah.
It's very hard when there's not that many people, and to go home, to be sent home, to not be able to work, to not be able to hire people, to do all that, it hurts the business. And so
Yeah. Okay,
it's unfortunate,
we gotta
but the
keep
point
going
is,
on.
pick up some Coach Chemi, pick up some G-Technic,
Yeah.
pick up some Color Lock, grab some PMS.
Mike's Auto Detailing.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How can I get Levi to return an email? This is how you do it.
This is how you do it right here, Mike.
Make him feel it.
Yeah. Mary Beth, what is this, a ninja meeting? Yes.
It is.
Mike saying, ha ha ha. Dan Rainey, full PM, full clean, foam cannon, etc. Final Bead Maker's drying aid. Saturday morning, covered in dust. Use at a car show. Paint gloss, wipe it down with paint gloss, and hit it with Dream Maker. That's it.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
Han says, Mike's Auto Detailing email bomb me. Yeah, Mike, I don't know what you're talking about. What email?
Huh.
Say
Okay,
this
better
email,
check it.
Levi. Dunlop,
Yeah, I saw that's what I was
Develop.
about to read too.
the cheap car series was so great. Will you be doing a series similar? Keep on making great videos. If I can sell my truck
Yes,
without
we
being
still need to
arrested,
work on that part.
that
Yeah.
would be great. Because there's still, a little bit of a payback that I still owe Jeff money.
Yeah.
It was
So-
a really fun series to make, but it was also very stressful at
Dane
times.
and Anthony paid off Jeff. I still haven't paid him off, and I had to tell him the bad news that I might not be selling
At the
until the end of the year.
Just before this.
Literally like 5 seconds before we went live.
Yeah, Brionicle says Levi's email reader's on strike.
Yeah. And Mike says, hello, Brian. What's up, Mike? Mike says, that's a good idea, Hans. Thank you, Mike. Mike, what email? You sure you wrote it in right? Levi at the ragcompany. I haven't seen your
Oh, we sent
email,
it to
bro.
Levi at the Rage Company.
Probably,
I've seen
that's
that
probably what
happen a
happened.
few times.
Ed, thanks, Hans. Yeah, the new T-shirt shop that we've been using.
Uh-huh.
They wrote my email and they forgot to put a G, so it says the RA Company. And they were like, you haven't been receiving our emails. One of the guys writes, my brother's been sending you emails. You haven't been. I was like, I haven't seen any emails. Then he sends me the whole chain, and I'm like, you guys forgot to put the G in my email.
By the way, super cool that you're named
So-
after an Egyptian sun god. That's
the
pretty
Raw
rad.
Company.
The
Yeah.
Raw Company.
Brionicle says we need purple and gold brushes for the Lakers. We have purple. Mike's Auto Detailing blue and gold for the Warriors. Guys, we have purple and orange and blue and orange. It works perfectly. Silver and black, we
Oh,
got you
man.
covered because John Green is a Raider Nation fan.
Oh,
Raider
man,
Nation.
he sure is.
Hans says removing badges with fishing line. Yep, you could use that.
Remember that Larry video?
Curly Wolf, does anyone use a soap reservoir in their pressure washer? What do you put in it? Any idea how to calculate the resulting dilution? I pour O and R in it, in mine.
You
and
do?
I don't calculate it. I just let it rip.
Yeah.
Hans traffic film remover.
Just yelling
That's
product
just
names.
soap. That's a degreaser.
That's just another
Yeah.
name for
Terry
soap.
Schwartz says, I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. When to do a full wash with soap or when to just use a waterless wash? So a waterless wash is something you can do with light dust at any time whatsoever. A rinseless wash is something you can do from light dust all the way to relatively medium soilage. A pressure washer wash with soap and water, you can also do at any time mentioned above, but a soap and water is typically ideal for when you have mud on the car, really, really heavy dirt, but you could also knock down that with a pressure washer and then do a rinseless wash. So you have a lot of options there, but waterless specifically is usually reserved for
The waterless is like emergency
light
use.
dust, light dust and mild
Yeah.
debris.
You're on a road trip or
Tyler
something.
says, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry I haven't gone a bit. I tried going through some of the lives but missed it, I guess. Sorry for the review. No problem.
That's okay, man.
We're just giving you crap.
No, we've just,
Yeah. We're
when
just
we
giving
see
you
it,
a
it's
hard
like
time.
suddenly
It's
it's
like
just,
a child who walks in the middle of a movie and says, what's going on?
What are we watching?
Yeah.
is that the bad guy?
Oh, it's fine, buddy. It's totally fine.
Everybody has that family member is like, wait, what's going on?
Can you pause it? Let's rewind it. I'm
Hold
like,
on.
we're halfway through,
so
Mom.
can you explain the
No.
They haven't revealed it yet. Oh, so they reveal it? Oh, no, I've said too much.
No, you're fine, Tyler.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry
Terry.
Schwartz, will you continue the STI series? No, because we
little
sold it.
difficult because the car's been sold. We
We'll
did a
probably have
live
little bit
where we actually
afterwards.
sold it live.
Yeah, we sold
in
it
an auction.
for a lot of money.
So if you go back a few videos, you will see
Pretty
that. It's
impressive.
fun though.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I can't wait for an off-roading build.
Did
Oh.
you see the one that Gabe sent me this morning?
He's still trying.
Ooh, it's nasty.
There's a
It
lot of
looks good.
potential
I
in
kinda
them
like
there
it.
hills.
I kind of like it a lot. Gabe,
We
if you're
still need to
listening,
build
I
our
like
TRC
that one.
support vehicle, the Rag Company support vehicle.
Yeah,
Whatever
I know. We
that,
still
that
need to
is.
build that.
They keep eyeballing my truck. I
Yeah,
know they
we-
want to
We keep
rip that
looking
bed
at
off
it.
and put in
Yeah,
a
rescue bed on
cabin
the back.
We
in the
do.
back.
Service bed.
Yeah.
And
Just
Need
build
you.
a tiny house in the back of the frame.
Yeah.
All right. Mike says, yes, I did. I'll try again.
Oh man.
First from Puerto Rico, Mike's giving a thumbs up. Hans, Wash Wednesday zippity hoodie doodah up in the store next. Maybe. We only made those kind of internally for folks. I'll have to think about that, Hans. Mike's, hello, Umberto. Brianna call. What's going on? Says
We've
Umberto.
officially caught
Curly
up.
Wolf. Hans, O&R. Hans Closen, O&R. Costco franchises.
Oh,
French
my
fries
goodness.
is covering all the yelling bases here. Thank you, man. Brionicle, can we get a TRC Cribs video of Dane's Palace?
I'm
That
sorry.
would
Did
be
you see my garage video?
pretty
Or
much
maybe
the
he
same
did. And
thing.
he's thinking there's more.
Yeah, well, I
Somebody
did.
lied to them and said that's just his decoy home. The
Well,
real
we
home.
are-
You didn't see the
Um,
fountains, the courtyard, all that stuff.
We are looking for more garage tours that we need to be knocking out. We
Yep.
actually did Jimmy's the other day.
We have Sydney's coming
we
out
have
this
Sydney-
weekend.
Sydney's actually coming out this weekend, and a lot of people want to see Sydney's, and it's full of really good
It's
information.
an actual
Saturday,
business. She runs a
9
business out of it.
a.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can see
Legitimate
Sydney's
business.
garage
Yeah,
tour.
yeah.
Full of, it's great. I mean, the whole thing's great for anybody from a detailer to enthusiast. The way she has everything set up is pretty.
An
mighty.
aspiring
I
home
mean,
detailer
it's
can
pretty
find
great.
a lot to
But
like
we
in there.
need more examples,
Mhm.
meaning that we need to go to
We got to go to Josh's still.
more
Uh-huh.
home garages. So we have Josh Brodel, another employee here. He's got a nice, clean garage
Yeah.
set up.
He's our customer
Um,
service.
But who else do we have? Do you know anybody?
Yeah,
Levi?
Brad Gates.
Brad
a lot
Gates.
A lot of great
Your father.
garages. Yep. hmm
But does he have a parking, like a garage you can park in,
Yes.
or is it a shop?
Well, it's a shop. He also has a garage.
Okay, okay.
He's got two of them.
This is the
Alright.
garage. We were trying to avoid like an actual detail shop because that's a little too like that's more
Correct.
businessy. The fact that Sydney does her business in her garage,
Mhm,
it's still a
garage.
garage and it's a
Yeah.
home garage, so that's the focus.
So-
So
the
I
garage.
think my dad
So that's
would
kind of our
be
criteria.
kind of fun because it's a neat difference in the way that he does a lot of stuff out of there.
Sure.
He works on his cars in there. He builds furniture. He does a lot of metalworking. He does a lot of different home projects. Does a lot of stuff out of his various garages. It's in
Mhm.
2 locations, so it's kind of be a longer
Yeah.
setup. But point is, kind of a neat idea for those that are looking to expand or do something more, because everyone's got other
Sure.
hobbies
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than detailing. So
Oh, Ryan here. Happy Friday Eve, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
and thank you
Ryan.
for all you do. Thank you, Ryan. All right, we got Umberto. They showed their garages, he says. Adam.
best chemical options for cleaning touch screens and instrument screens. Thanks. Honestly, all surface cleaner
Yep.
is a great product for that.
O&R,
Yeah, O&R. It's also good.
diluted, yep.
Yeah. Nothing more complicated than that, really.
Yeah. We need the real castle on top of the hill surrounded by a moat, says Brionicle.
Oh,
Oh.
well, when you meet my Imperial Guard dogs, you'll know you've gone too far.
Okay, just give them some meat.
Yeah.
Summer Salt.
Such as
saying,
an uninvited
you guys
guest."
need to get your hands on some Ozone products from Australia. The best quality products with the cheekiest names and product descriptions.
Summer
Thank
Salt.
you, Summer.
Summer
We
Salt.
are not strangers to Bowden Zone.
We
We
are
are
not.
You
very
don't have to
familiar
tell
with
us.
Bowden Zone.
Yeah, you have to
I
tell us
love
twice.
Their
Bowden Zone
marketing
videos.
is the best.
I watch Bowden Zone videos just for fun because I
Yep.
think that they're freaking
The
hilarious.
Great Barrier thingy. I mean, come on.
Like-
and that onesie. Oh my goodness.
No, I would love to give my car a snow job.
Mhm.
and
mean,
that too.
Seriously. But I mean, yeah, no, the humor is freaking
It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
and
Cheeky indeed.
But I would be genuinely interested to try the products just to see how they smell, how they work.
I
So-
knew I loved them the first time when I was looking on their site because I caught one of their ads and laughed at it. And then I saw that for their microfiber towels, they said they're made with drop bear fur.
Yeah, drop bear
And I was like,
fur.
oh man, okay, these guys are really leaning into it. Love this.
No,
So,
I
yeah,
need.
very cool.
We need like maybe Grant Hawtrey, our favorite New Zealander, to maybe get a hold of some Bowden Zone for us
Yeah.
and get us a shipment out because
Mm.
I mean
Or
that.
we just reach out to Mark Perch.
Or reach out to
our
Mark
very own
Perch.
Rag Company Australia.
and see if he can get some
Yeah,
stuff
see if he
sent
can get
out.
us
I
some.
just want to see. I just want to see what it's all about because it
Yeah.
seems like a lot of fun.
Curly Wolf, I went to the Honda dealership yesterday and found there are a lot of new cars almost empty. Maybe the chip storage? Are you guys seeing the same in Idaho? I haven't been on the lot to see.
I
Certain
have.
places
Juan
do
has.
seem a little dry. But yeah, it's touch and go. It depends on which dealership you're going by. The used lots are full of, cars as they usually are, but the new ones.
I went to. I went just last week. I was just on a motorcycle ride just because I was over by.
Yeah.
Over off of. What's it called? Orchard and Franklin there, where all the auto mall is, a little area over there, just to kind of pass through
Yeah.
and see if there's anything new and exciting. Nothing.
Drove down
Like-
Thunderbolt Way.
Wow.
There is literally nothing.
So
I
at
mean,
the auto mall, it's just dead.
dude, it's dead. Like I mean,
Even
like
at
they
that
have,
Dodge dealership, because
like,
they're usually got a
so
ton
they
of
so
stuff.
they still have a lot
like
of Jeeps. There's
and-
like Jeeps over there, but a lot of the ugly Jeeps. What's those Jeeps that have the pointy headlights? The
angry eye
Trailhawk,
Jeeps?
yeah, the angry
Oh,
eyes.
the
Oh wait,
Cherokees.
no! I'm talking about when you modify a
Lot of
Wrangler with the angry
Cherokees.
hood. You're talking about the Cherokees.
Cherokees, yeah.
With the pointy,
Ton
running
of
lights.
Cherokees, but
Okay.
but other than that though, there wasn't much. And then I drove by the Hyundai dealership, right? Because I was like thinking maybe there's a Veloster Inn around
Yeah.
there. There's nothing.
You're
So a
starting
lot
to
of
see
the
more used vehicles on the new car dealerships. You hardly see.
yeah,
It's not a lot of the stuff
CarMax
you
is popping though. CarMax still has a ton of stuff there.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I've been really wanting to see. Honestly, I have not seen a 2020 or like the newest generation of the Civic Si before
Yeah.
the new Civic they just launched.
Yeah.
I've never walked around one of those in person and touched it, felt it, seen it.
The new ones feel like they got a unibrow. They're like very upright on the front grille around the headlights and stuff. It's just very
The
squared
new
off.
one or you're talking about the previous generation?
No, the very new
The
one.
new one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
no,
very
those- yeah,
squared
those are-
off at the
oh, those
front
are
along
hideous.
the
Yeah.
Yeah,
light
they look,
line.
They look like the ugly cousin, but I think that the previous generation looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So I went to just go see one in person.
Sure.
There's nothing there.
Hmm.
And I have found recently that a lot of cars that you look at pictures online and you go, they do look better in person, but it really depends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kirby Thompson.
Thanks for your insight today. Enjoy the weather changing. I have to leave to do a late detail. That red truck has a light dusting.
All right,
Nice,
get on
Kirby.
it.
That looked great. Says, thanks to the TRC Q&A group. You guys, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right, Ed.
Dan,
Oh.
Ed there, yeah. Would
Yeah.
be cool to see someone with a garage in a place that's rented. It's limited and what I can do with a rental space garage. That's a good idea.
True.
Dan Baruman says, hit me up for a garage tour here in Boise.
Okay.
Dan,
Okay.
email Levi at theragcompany.com. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Summer Salt, she says, the bomb, right? And you've got to try their crotch cannon.
That's right, they have that.
Says Dream Maker to the
Oh,
rescue.
yeah.
You're right, it's hilarious. And then Graham says, if you want to try more detailing products from Scotland, have a look at a brand called Mitchell and King. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate that.
Never heard of Mitchell
And then
King.
Summer says, if you call Bowden Zone main number, you can get through to the owner, Dan Bowden himself. I'm sure he'd be delighted to help you out with some product to try. Oh my gosh, thank you, Summer, for that information.
I'm starting to feel
Appreciate
like
it.
you work there, Summer.
like her name changes to like Summer Bowden.
Yeah. Email me at Levi at theragcompany.com.
I like the somersault, though. Somersault? Yeah.
Yeah. Supreme Kid 98. Where do each of you guys see the detailing car wash industry in the next 5 to 10 years? More respected? Ceramic tunnel washes everywhere?
Still
So
the
I've been
same.
in the industry for 25 years. I started in a car wash. And I will tell you that car wash technology has changed. And they are spraying ceramics now as a final or a last step product in a car wash.
Yes, but are they still using brushes to
They
wash
are
your
still
cars?
using brushes, but they are trying to work on the brush technology. So, for those of you ever interested, you can go to the car wash show in Las Vegas. They host
Yeah.
it every other year in Las Vegas, and it's actually kind of fun to go to check out some of the different things for car washes because they make a lot of really innovative ideas. But as long as a car is going to be going through a car wash with brushes, you're always going to have a need for detailers. And what was funny was the first year I did the car wash show, they actually had a Tesla pulled in, and they had a machine running its brushes on the front of the car dry all day to show you that it didn't scratch the car, but they never moved the car. They just let the brushes rub it.
Also, Tesla paint. I mean,
Yes, and first gen Model S paint.
Oh.
So they back the car up at the end of the night, and then they'd polish it out, and then they pull it back in for the next morning of this thing to show that their things didn't scratch. But when they pull out, it was still scratched.
eventually you run out of paint.
They didn't do anything. But the point was, it was funny to see. They still do that. They're still dealing with it. But you've also got to remember, you're never going to be able to fight convenience. And as more and more people find the ease to just run through a car wash,
Yep.
get the protection they need, you're going to have to deal with it. So you're either going to have to adapt by offering certain things to help those customers, but know that you're always going to have business because those brushes are always going to scratch cars.
Well, and a lot of vehicle owners, they don't hold on to their vehicle longer than maybe 5 or 6 years. They're holding on to them longer more recently, but overall, they tend to let that car move on from when it's new before they really start to see the effects that have been, put
Yeah,
upon it.
exactly.
So that's it too. There are a lot of ceramics popping up around here at
There
car
are,
washes.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I wanted to mention. I mean, as I had customers that say, hey, I have a spray ceramic. Is it better than the ceramic coating that you apply? I was like, no, it's never going to be a ceramic. And they call it ceramic coating. I mean, the ceramic coating washes or sprayers, they're not really ceramic coating application like we do on ceramic coating. So it's just like a sealer or stuff like that. Yes, they're going to be applying that. And they have been applying that for the longest time. I mean, it's not new, but it's not like what people understand as a detailers we understand as ceramic coating. We just have to be more educated and educate our customers. So to answer the question, how's it going to be changed in 5 to 10 years? I mean, it's still going to be the same. I mean, you just have to be upgrading yourself to that knowledge to teach the customers, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
Power through these last few
Neil
here.
White, 22 Civics look like Jettas.
They kind of do.
Brionicle, we're running out of new cars in SoCal.
Oh,
Alex says, Detail Products. I love you guys.
yell it, buddy.
Somersault giving us the okay. And Scott Matern, thanks TRC Cruise and Superfans. It's always a pleasure. Until next time, Dane, take us home.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you all. It's been a good time. We've had fun. So, Juan, thank you for joining us on today's show.
Thank you very much.
Making it just that much more fun. And guys, if you saw the video I put at the beginning of this little trailer talking about our FAQ channel, make sure you go and check out the Rag Company FAQ channel to get more questions answered when we're not live doing this every Thursday.
Right.
So it's a way to keep the show going in a sense. And yeah, that's really it, guys. Thanks so much, and we will catch you later next week on the podcast channel. See you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.